Robert Harvey. Saints to the right of the first quarter, the Magpies to the left. And as Paul said, no wind advantage here today. They handled the conditions pretty well in the reserves, and that match actually got underway in very foggy conditions. Lockyer applies a tackle, ball spooned up to Stewie Lowe over the head of Rocker. The big spider gets his kick down, only to see it marked by Godden. Across the ground, Krasiska. One of the veterans in the Magpie lineup. Runner up in the best and fairest though last year. Still playing some pretty good footy. Rocker. Godden again. Mitchell. Good tackle. Lockyer. Tarrant. Some of the Magpie youngsters, and there's a bit of experience. Gavin Brown spears it down towards Wosley, who takes the mark at right half forward. Wosley into the side today, comes from Norwood, played 5 games last year, his first this year.
And James Wosley is a very, very quick player. He kicks into Buckley. Don't tell me, it looks like McLaren was running there with Buckley. We might pick that up in a minute, Mick, to see if he's running with him.
Yeah, well, he's actually got the role in the early stages of the first quarter, whether it's just to get him into the game, because McLaren's basically played forward most of this year, but that's a big assignment if he has got the job on Buckley for the remainder of the day.
Well, Nathan Buckley from the boundary line, he's just the sort of bloke who could kick this. It's close, but it's helped on its way over and through for first score of the match. Behind of the Magpies was thumped over the line then by Darryl Wakeland, who's got the job on Severio Rocker. And Mick, just watching him in other games, he plays about 5 metres in front of his man.
Young to Hodgson. Wakeland has it punched away. That's Shane Wakeland applies a tackle on Lockyer. Ball jarred free in the tackle and over the boundary line for a throw in at left half forward for Collingwood, but about 60 metres from goal.
And Peters, Darryl Wakeland's got the job on Severio Rocker. Shane, we just saw on screen, he's got the job of Chris Tarrant. Hutchinson's picking up Brown in Collingwood's forward line, whereas the other end of the ground, Anthony Rocker's got the job on Stewie Lowe. Prestigiacomo's picking up Hall, and also Luke Godden's picking up the dangerous Gavin Mitchell.
Brown gets the hand pass away. Francis, he'd be very keen to do well today, and so would the big monkey, playing game number 200. Out to Prestigiacomo. Mitchell pressuring him. Target is Tyson Lane. Out of bounds in front of Wakeland. That's Darryl Wakeland. Weather today absolutely magnificent. As Paul Couch mentioned, 13 degrees, not a heat wave. Expected top is 14, but if you're sitting out in the sun as we were, it's absolutely beautiful today here at Waverley. So we await the throw-in, which is on centre wing. Buckley gets it down. Kick away comes from Lockyer. Up towards half forward. Burke was there. Wakeland provides a tackle. Kick away from Young, and that's out of bounds again. A little bit closer to goal. Trianidi tips it back to the boundary umpire, who will do it all again.
Collingwood one behind. St Kilda yet to score. They'll miss Robert Harvey. He often kills Collingwood. With his 35, well, he does, but particularly against Collingwood, you can put him down for 3 votes. He and Nathan Burke every time. There's Tony Francis playing against his old club, and he'll be trying his heart out to show Collingwood that they shouldn't have cleared him. It's half forward for the Magpies. Everett tries to flick it back to the boundary line and stump further afield. Freeborn did well. Lane dragged as he went to kick it. Socket off the ground as close to the boundary line. I think it was Betheris. No, it wasn't. It was Wosley, in fact. And Wosley's a very, very quick player, you'll notice, as the game progresses. Yeah,
and that was a terrific tackle by Damien Ryan. Tyson Lane's had 2 best in field games the last 2 weeks he's played. Ryan's got the negating role on Lane today across centre wing.
Rocker and Everett. Rocker actually won that one. A quick kick comes back towards there's Brown. Brown gives it off to Zilla. Here's Francis directing traffic as he kicks it towards Hall. That's a beautiful kick and a good lead by Hall.
In front of Prestigiacomo. Started off well last week, Barry Hall against Hawthorn. He had a few teammates. Ozzie Jones, Tony Brown, they both start early. Oh, that's a very good punch away by Michael. Gets it clear of his opponent down there in Jason Trianides. But a throw in short of the forward pocket for the Saints. And Mel Michael doing the job very well. Right on 50. Stewie Lowe, who did a lot of the ruck work, especially after half-time against Hawthorn, against Monkhorst. Jones, hand pass away, Godden in front, Trianides has got him, ball jarred free in the tackle, picked up by Buckley, already covering a lot of territory. Buckley, Krasiska, Lane, up towards Brown, punch away there, Fuller. Well, might have been against Young, no, but Wathley's got the mark just the same. And you'd have to say within kicking distance, but we won't put the mockers on him just yet.
And Wathley certainly is a young talent at Collingwood. Had an interrupted year at this stage. One probably criticism of his game is his actual field kicking. Haven't seen a lot of him from set shots, but this was an important start for Collingwood's point of view to get an early goal on the board.
That's pretty close to the man on the mark. And the ball off hands. Was it touched? I think it might be a goal. It is. Well, 4 or 5 of them flew and not one of them touched it. That's quite remarkable.
Well, if they haven't touched it, it's very, very poor defensive play.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, Pete. There's the ball in flight. A pack of players underneath this ball as it travels there. Oh, it looked like Tarrant actually touched the body of the ball, or the ball touched the body of Tarrant, but obviously he was across the goal line.
So, first blood to the Magpies. They lead by 7 points. This is a good start. Buckley's getting plenty of touches early. He's a vital player in this game. He bends it back to half forward. Nathan Burke waits underneath it courageously. He gives it off to Hudson. Francis getting plenty of the ball early. Kicks to Everett, and Everett marks. Way out at half forward. So Peter Everett's going to kick it in short here. He finds Francis. Gee, that's about 4 touches early in the game. Francis brings it into half forward. Stuart Lowe. Oh, the hands grasp that ball, and Anthony Rocker couldn't do a thing about it.
It just looks like St Kilda's 2 key forwards, Lowe and also Hall, they're going to lead at every opportunity, knowing that they're against players probably a little bit inferior in speed. There's no doubt that St Kilda midfielders will try to use that short option on the way through, because Monkhorst is dropping back into that path, and that's the reason why the ball's so wide from where Stuart Lowe took the mark.
Well, he knows he can't kick the goal from there, so he puts it into that half-forward area. It's over the back with Trianides, and it's locked in there before Ryan can get away with it. It'll be bounced about 30 metres out from the St Kilda goal, but I reckon St Kilda just don't look the same side. I know it's early days, but Harvey linking up as he comes through that middle is a terrific asset. It's knocked out to Everett. Everett hooks it back at goal, and he drifts it away to the left and has kicked their first scorer behind.
He was dragged last week after conceding back-to-back 50-metre penalties, but he came back on and kicked probably the goal of the day. A magnificent snap at the left-hand goal. It was one of the gems of the afternoon, one of the few highlights the Saints had after the main break. They'll be hoping that they can turn it around today. Tyson Lane from Burns kick in, up to Wosley. In fact, Wosley Buckley. Wakeland. Shane Wakeland. Hope he keeps the long sleeves on all day. Be real handy. Mitchell. His brother's got the short ones on at the moment. Burke. Plenty of room for Nathan Burke to move in on centre wing. Long bombs it up inside 50. Barry Hall territory. Yes, no, yes, he's got it.
Yeah, terrific mark there by Barry Hall. Very strong in the marking contest. He should get the distance.
Everett. Oh, got one hand to it. Jones pops it through from point-blank range.
Just looking at the hand movement of Peter Everett on that occasion in that marking contest, I reckon he did see Ozzie Jones at the foot of that pack. Have a look here. The ball's kicked long and direct at the goal square. Just look at that manoeuvring of the hand. Palmed it down into the path of Ozzie Jones. That is just an extreme talent.
Didn't try to mark, really, did he?
He certainly didn't, Pete. That's just terrific awareness by the big man, knowing that Jones was at the foot of the pack, gave it to him in his path, and he did the rest. Good teamwork from St Kilda.
Scores a level. 7 apiece. Everett flicked it down. Oh, that was good play to Brown, but he was locked in there.
Peter, just to the bench for St Kilda, Lenny Hayes, David Sirakowski, Matthew Carr, Ben Walton, and for Collingwood, Mark Richardson, Brent Tuckey, Craig Jackatine and Clinton Young.
Thank you, Paul. Everett cleverly over the back to Brown. That was good play by Everett. He gives it off to Trianides. They're off and running through McLaren. McLaren kicks a goal, the bounce! Goal! Second goal of the Saints. Very good play at the centre bounce there, Mick.
Yeah, well, that's where Collingwood's problem could lie. Everett's had a terrific record against Monkhurst, particularly at the centre bounces. He is a jumping ruckman. Monkey, going into this game, certainly had a question mark over his calf, just struggling to get off the ground at this stage. But that's the only way you put some defensive pressure or offensive pressure on your direct opponent. McLaren's got Buckley. Push forward when you can and be a goal kicker. Make him accountable for you at some stage. Joe
McLaren gets the Saints second, and the Saints into the lead by 6 points. Back-to-back goals for the Saints. Everett wins that one straight to Buckley, robes it beautifully, gets clear of McLaren, who kicked the last goal. Not a great kick off the boot. Sav Rocker, can he get around? Wakeland going with him. Gets some assistance from Freeborn. Tarrant onto the left, snaps. Not bad, but not close enough. He can't bend it around enough, and so one behind. Kicked by Chris Tarrant, his first score of the day. 5 points the margin at Waverley. The Saints have won their last 5 on end against Collingwood. Saints coach's box. Tim Watson goes for the phone. Hodgson marks in the back pocket. Freeborn comes at him. Obviously hasn't gone over the mark yet. Peckett left the ground injured last week against Hawthorn.
And they missed him too when he went off.
Yeah, they did.
It's interesting watching Collingwood's forwards. They're really zoning an area, just trying to hem the ball in their forward part of the ground as St Kilda try to get out of that zone.
Trianides gets it to Young. Now they run it away well. Mitchell at midfield. Trianides, he looked the other way. Now he finds the footy. Low trajectory kick. Not paid as a mark. Low. Oh, gee, that's almost in the back to Rocker.
And Everett's in the goal square too, Pete.
Brown bends it back. Can't bend it back enough.
Well, he gave Jones a bit of a serve then, Peter Everett.
He certainly did, and rightfully so.
Aussie Jones it was, not Brown. One behind. 2-2 to 1-2. 6 points the margin. We approach the halfway mark of the quarter, and it's Lockyer to bring the ball back.
Yes, and Collingwood from this kicking, they're getting the loose men going. This is Burns. Oh, good strong play at half back. Here's Brown. Brown tried to dodge. Good umpiring to let it go. Rupert Patheris brings it in towards half forward. Shane Wakeland. He's got some help from McLaren. Good play by McLaren to Peckett. Here's Maxie Hodgson. Shane Wakeland. Shane Wakeland kicks to half forward, and Hallmark's, gee, they've got some players leading, but there's no one back in the square, so he was forced to kick short to Lowe, and Lowe's 50 metres from goal. Now the leads are coming thick and fast. Lowe's forced to kick long. It's a one-on-one contest. Over the back was Aussie Jones. Here's Andrew Thompson. Quick handball. Oh, kept in play, and then eventually is forced through for a behind by Godden, and that's a behind to the Saints.
Yeah, terrific tackle there by Scott Burns, but you'll see the contrast of styles. St Kilda are adopting the man-on-man approach when Collingwood are actually kicking the ball in. On the last 2 occasions, Collingwood have got players free. They're working very hard in that huddle to get someone free. Buckley on this occasion will be the player.
Target Lockyer, as you mentioned, Mick, to Buckley. Buckley kicks to a contest. And Wosley's done pretty well so far. I like the look of him. The South Australian, Norwood, 1 or 2 bounces, maybe 1 too many, or did he get taken high by Young? Hodgson, a little give, back to Peckett, squares the ball. Ground obviously a little bit slippery. I mentioned earlier it was pretty foggy this morning. McLaren nearly, Ryan. Now Nathan Burke. Just wide of the centre circle, kicks to half forward. Hawthorn out of position. Anthony Rocker takes the mark. Could be a good contest. Barry Hall, I'm watching you, son, he says. Buckley. Oh, couple cut lunches thrown there. I don't think I'd steal the beers of either of those guys in a pub. Don't argue. Emergency umpire's on his way out to try to sort that one out. No love lost there, Mick.
No, certainly not. Anthony Rocker's actually showing a bit of strength there on that occasion. Good stuff from the young player from Collingwood's point of view.
Well, the big monkey's kick didn't find the target that he wanted and finds Nathan Burke instead. 7 points the difference in favour of the Saints. Now that's coming back. No, it's not. I think it might be. Might be blood. Got the blood. Where is it?
Yeah, it just looked like a little bit of a scratch on the top of his nose. I dare say just under his chin.
I wonder how he got that.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, just on the bridge of his nose. Well, I dare say as this game goes on, that'll be an enthralling contest. Just to have a look what evolves with that matchup, Hall versus A. Rocker. So we know Barry Hall can be volatile at times, and it'll be just interesting to see what he stores in his memory back for the next hour and a half of footy.
Well, I was just thinking that myself, and I mentioned earlier that Harvey and Burke are normally BOG against Collingwood every time. Well, Burke's already getting heaps of possessions as he kicks it in short to Big Spider. Everett. Oh, that's a shocking kick by Everett. Straight to Worsley. I don't know what he was trying to do, Peter Everett. He bends it back. Oh, Pickett got back and just touched it, but I think it was going through from behind. But what was Peter Everett trying then? Something fancy, I believe.
Peter, just on Barry Hall, is just a nick on the side of the mouth there.
So Justin Pickett brings it in to Brown. 15 plays 9, so a goal the difference. Here's Stewie Lowe covering plenty of territory. This is Ryan.
That's a great kick.
Former Richmond player. Beautiful kick. And Darryl Watlin has run down. Terrific play by Darryl Watlin. He kicks it to Zilla, who will kick from 30 metres.
Good play by St Kilda, namely Wakelin. He was prepared to work. Poor defensive play from Rocker. You cannot afford your direct opponent streaming out of the back line and letting him run forward of the contest. You've got to offer some defensive pressure on the player who's running forward. Severio Rocker, you have to work harder than that.
Stephen Zilla from 30 metres. Kicks a goal and puts it through the middle.
Saints get their third, Chittles first. 3-3 to 1-3, so the difference out to 14 points. 8 minutes remaining in the quarter. Good setup started by Ryan.
Yeah, and that's what you call corridor football. Getting the ball back inside to that grid area towards goal. And that's great vision and awareness there by Ryan. Spotting Wakelin, who ran extremely hard out of defence to create an option further afield. He got back from the mark very quickly. That was the key. Peeled off, looked inside, did see Zilla pushing forward also. Hence St Kilda's third for the quarter.
12 points the margin. 8 minutes remaining in the quarter. Neither ruckman gets an effective tap out. Still they can't clear the zone. Tackle applied by Brown. Traianides a chance. Now Hodgson, blocked by Buckley. The Spider. Everett. Up to half forward. Burns needs to get back quickly and does. Or might have got a free kick. Should get a free kick for a trip.
Yeah, that's a terrific matchup between two quality players. Scott Burns of Collingwood, Dow, a defender. Thompson, who's had a terrific season at this stage. They're matched up against each other across half forward.
Gavin Francisca to Buckley. He works hard, doesn't he?
Just on Severio Rocker, he looks very proppy in his action. There's something definitely wrong with him.
Thanks, Couchy. Freeborn. Kangaroos premiership player. Lowe giving him plenty of advice. Lobs it to half forward. Wakelet in the middle. Ball shuffled up inside 50. Did it go far enough for a mark? Brown's got it. Umpire pays him. Too far out to score. And the mark has been taken there inside 50 in front of Gavin Brown by Tarrant.
Yeah, and Chris Tarrant certainly is a real talent. I believe he's the second youngest player on Collingwood's list. Quite often had set shots throughout the course of his early stages of his career. He tends not to hit the ball right on its point. You'll find more often than not his left foot shots at goal more or less go like a helicopter, left to right.
18th game for the Pies, 7th this year. straight as an arrow. He's kicked it.
Yeah, good start here by Collingwood.
Well, I guess confidence can do wonders. And if they can stay with the Saints early in the game, will certainly lift their spirits. And Gavin Brown, just the required distance, that kick. And Rowdy hardly wasted disposal. And got that one to Tarrant in front of Nathan Bird. There's the man they'd love to have out there, Pete.
Yes, my favourite player in the competition to watch, Peter, without a doubt. And I'll certainly miss him. 6 points the margin as Everett takes on Moncours. Backhand pass comes back to Batheris. In towards full forward. Darryl Wakeland put himself in. Here he comes again. The little champ, Nathan Burke. Kicks to half forward to Gavin Mitchell. Mitchell's got some support here at half forward. By well on the ground is Lenny Hayes. On to Trionides. Swooping hand pass. Zip. Kicks. And it bounces before Sierakowski could get back there, and it beats him over the line, but it's deep in the Saints forward zone.
And Collingwood have tried to mismatch St Kilda's defence. Fuller's been taken from the ground. Tucky's gone forward, and as we speak, Trionides has just come off the ground for St Kilda. He's been replaced by Walton.
Yes, Walton's gone down to that forward 50 low to take on Moncours and Everett. They're double teaming on. Moncours went to the big fist backwards. Still in play, is it? Yes, it is, and then got hooks it back over the line. So it's about 8 metres around from the St Kilda goal. They lead by 6 points now. They've got Lowe and Everett there, but Lowe's going to do the ruck work. Everett doesn't. Well, he might come from the back. No, he's not flying. Again, it's Moncours to Lowe. Now Mitchell. He dives on it, then he shoots it out to Sierakowski. Now Zilla. Zilla gives it back to Thompson, who's going to have a pot shot at goal. He's kicked it out in the full.
That's exactly what it was, a pot shot. Averages, though, nearly 23 disposals a match, Thompson. He was slightly down last week. Mel Michael from left back pocket. Good kick distance-wise. Buckley the target. Everett's too tall. Buckley punches to the front, takes it from Anthony Rocker. Buckley well played. Kicks to centre wing. And just a little bit too wide down there for Tarrant. Closely pursued over the line by Shane Wakeland.
Buckley's had 9 kicks already, Pete.
Great quarter of football.
He's got a lot of the footy, but he really hasn't been effective with his ball use.
Very well back on.
He certainly has to use the ball far better than what he's done at this stage. He's already had 9 kicks, as you spoke about, Pete, but you have to use the ball far better on that, as he did on that occasion.
Punched down by Tarrant. Wakeland. McLaren, that's out of bounds. So the Magpies assisted there by Tyson Lane with that tackle. They've gained, I guess, about 5 or 8 metres closer to their goal.
And Monkey's coming off the ground. I just thought that's the reason why they've brought Mark Richardson into this team, knowing that Lowe and Everett will share their ruck duties. Richardson will be used also in that role.
Speaking of Lowe, Krasiska off the ground. Burke again. Shane Wakeland. Hudson. Peckett. Around Wasley. Kicks to half forward. Sierakowski in front of Prestigiacomo, but couldn't complete the mark. Aussie Jones in front of Gotten. That's out of bounds.
And I reckon St Kilda made it blue today. Not playing Heatley. I reckon they should have played Heatley against Collingwood. A natural full forward, a leading full forward.
He's dropped twice in the past month. So, not in the good books at the moment. Thompson, low, over the head of Sierakowski. He might still be able to get there. He can't on Prestigiacomo. Now Young likes kicking goals. I mentioned he kicked the first last week. Oh, that's a beautiful pass. Absolute gem to Walton, is it? Yes. He's just come onto the ground. This will be his first kick.
Yeah, and that was terrific setup there by Young. He just thinks his way through a situation, and quality players do that. He just didn't blaze away at goal. He saw 2 St Kilda players forward of him, only 15 metres away, but he decided to go for the short option, so a set shot at goal could happen.
Ben Walton, only his 12th game, and he has kicked inaccurately for just one behind. Prestigiacomo nailed there. Didn't prove as costly as it might have been, though. And Matthew Young, who averages about 22 disposals a match, didn't waste that one either. Kick out to half-back. Krasiska takes the mark and loads with a hand pass.
Yeah, it's a good kick in, and then Krasiska gave it to Tyson Lane, who kicks to centre wing, and the mark has been taken by David Sierakowski, wearing the number made famous by his father, Brian. An ordinary kick. Kicks into half forward, and Burns took the mark onto Tyson Lane, and that's a lovely kick. And he finds his Collingwood teammate down there in Brent Tucky, smothered off the boot. That was good play by Ryan. Everett goes in to lend a hand. Now Ryan trying to get it back in the direction of Everett. Tucky was there. Rocker put it on the ground. How the umpire call this? Hall comes crashing through. Well played by Walton. It's an up and under kick. And Mitchell nearly took the mark, but he paid a free kick against him. Will go to Burns.
Well, he wasn't watching the ball at all. He went straight at the player, didn't he?
Yeah, he certainly was, Pete. He just missed it on the replay on that occasion, but Burns always had his eyes on the ball. Free kick was certainly warranted.
So Scotty Burns, a tough, hard character, kicks it towards halfback where Lowe is waiting. Sierakowski's there also. Free ball. Now Mark Richardson. Further afield it comes. The Magpies bring it down towards halfback where Young. He's in terrific form, Matthew Young. He's got the ball on centre wing. He chips it in short to Peckett. Danger for the Magpies here. Oh, look at this. Hall over the back though. He's got support, and I think it's a mark to Mitchell.
Yeah, superior judgment. Mitchell never ever took his eyes off the ball. Godden was caught in two minds on that occasion. He was trying to feel the body of Mitchell, and out the corner of his eye, there's no doubt he saw the presence of Hall. He had to compete. Ball went over the top of that contest. Mitchell was there and took an easy chest mark.
So Gavin Mitchell, he's been a good little player for the Saints, former Docker, and he will kick from about 20 metres on a 45-degree angle, and he should kick this goal from there. He stabs at it, and he's goal. So another one to the Saints, and they move their lead out to 13 points.
Yeah, good build-up once again by St Kilda. They're certainly going short. That's the style of play they like to play with. Collingwood on this occasion just caught out of position. One specific player was Godden. It's already interesting to see that St Kilda are really handballing the ball and trying to generate some run. They've had 36 handballs in the first quarter. Collingwood's only had 14.
13 points the margin. Close to quarter time, a couple of minutes remaining. Buckley takes it from Bathiris. Around the corner up to half forward, Sav Rocker. Well, he hasn't really had too many opportunities so far, has he? Krasiska. Bouncing ball, certainly a factor there. Tucky almost tackled without it. Zura up to Hodgson was good play. And St Kilda's run again very effective out of defence. Everett takes it short of right half forward, the big spider. They're starting to look a little bit dangerous in Kilda. The mark is taken by Thompson, this time in front of Bathiris. Too far out to score. Knows that goes in short. Lenny Hayes has taken the mark with Prestigiacomo standing it.
I believe this player here on screen, Pete, is going to be a sensational midfielder in years to come.
Came from the ACT Rams. I saw him play in the under-19 grand final a couple of seasons back.
Yeah, Mickey's got something certainly special about him, hasn't he?
Yeah, he just doesn't panic under pressure, does he, Couchy?
Lenny Hayes, 45 metres out, kicks accurately for goal and gets the goal. St Kilda's fifth.
Yeah, once again, the running game of St Kilda is certainly worrying Collingwood, particularly out of the defensive part of the ground. They're setting it up by precision ball use with their feet. Collingwood, if that's the scenario for the rest of the day, they have to start to play a lot tighter, be aware of which each and everyone's opponent is, and be real accountable throughout the course of the rest of the game.
Well, the Saints seem to have the answers at the moment. 5-4 to 2-3. They're getting a lot of loose players. Let's see, Richardson. Oh, he did well then, Mark Richardson. Kicks it down to half forward now. Let's see what the Magpies can do. Tucky gets it across to Tarrant, and Tarrant's kicked his second. Well done.
Yeah, terrific quick handball there by Tucky, wasn't it, Pete? All Collingwood players have ran to actually pat him on the back. He copped a blood nose because of that contest. Good work, Richardson, in the ruck. That's all he had to do. Think forward, under pressure, got it forward. But here's this battle here between Wakeland and also Tucky. He actually held up the handball, so it made Wakeland come to where the ball was, held it up enough to give the presence of mind to give the ball to Tarrant, who ran forward and kicked an easy goal.
And coming back on is Craig Jackatine, only his 9th game as well. Plenty of Magpie rookies out there. They are looking to the future. And these guys are going to be the backbone of the club for the next 5 or 10 years. Close to quarter time. Thompson couldn't take it. King's on the ground now, pressuring Hayes. He's got it, lost it, dropped it. Play on. Probably a good call in the end by the umpire. Good tackle by Hayes. Too high though, says the umpire. So it's going to be a Collingwood free kick. The recipient is Bathiris. I like the look of him too. He played very well at Footy Park last week against the Crows. Got a lot of good possessions. He led from the front. This is Freeborn. Siren goes to end the first quarter. Collingwood had a lot of the play. The Saints had a fair bit more. And they will go to the change. Handy leaders, 5-4-34 to the Magpies, 3-3-21 at Waverley. The difference is 13 points. Wakeland looking a little bit proppy there. With a Robert Harvey walk. Barry Hall, well, he was in that altercation. We may hear more about that. Had to leave the field with the blood rule. So there was certainly something there. Big bad Barry. How did you see the first quarter, Mick, briefly?
Yeah, I just think to the point, St Kilda just used the ball short and got players free. Collingwood persisted. Just a couple of good individual efforts. Tarrant in particular across half forward, he's been good. But all in all, it's been the St Kilda run out of the defence. Their ball usage on the way through is certainly hurting the Pies.
5 individual goal kickers for St Kilda, and Chris Tarrant has 2 for the Magpies. St Kilda by 13 points at the first change. 13 points. We saw Clinton King on the ground for the first time today.
It was interesting that actually Couchy spoke about the centre corridor. On Thursday I went and watched Collingwood train, Pete, and they primarily train the centre corridor.
Hayes has his kick smothered, will get a second chance, offloads it. Francis taking it from Ryan. They swing up towards centre half forward. Mark not taken. Lockyer. Clinton King a chance if he gets a bounce. Ryan again from Hayes. So the Saints working well. And he gets his 3rd touch, this time from Thompson. They've lost a little bit of ground here. McLaren, a goal kicker in the first quarter. He plays on. Buckley confronts him. Kicks it up towards half forward again. A marking contest. They come from all directions. Presta Giacomo was the one sitting underneath it. Now applies a tackle. But it's going to be a ball up 40 metres out directly in front of the St Kilda goal. And it looks like Jason Trianides on the bottom. It is.
Actually, that was a pretty good contest there by Trianides. The ball was bouncing around loose in St Kilda's forward 50-metre area. Trianides really ran hard and straight at that ball, got his head over the line of the footy, and that's good work.
Well, Stewie Lowe almost got a little bit of a nudge in the back. Everett had it, lost it, gives chase again. Gotten gets there first, tries to paddle it in front of him. Long hand pass. He had to keep it away from Aussie Jones, and he did that successfully because he was the only player out there. There wasn't a black and white jumper to be seen, so that was not bad.
You know, good stuff there by Godden on that occasion. He had to keep it simple. That's what he did. He didn't panic and use his left foot. He used his hands, and that was good, sensible play. 2
number 23s, Lowe and Anthony Rocker. King a chance. They can get rid of it. Michael slung off the ball by Trianides. Not a bad sort of a tackle. Richardson, who started on the bench. Buckley tries to get them out of defence. He will. They want more run. Kick it quickly, Bucks. A little bit slow on that occasion. Well, that was Thompson that came at him. Back towards the centre circle. Gets in a minute, Pete. Young from Trianides now gets it out to Everett.
Yeah, so I'll make a comment about that in a minute as Everett goes back to Young. I don't like seeing players run down the ground directing traffic like a traffic cop. They should be running forward and kicking the ball. Here's Hayes. Bring it in towards the half-forward area. Hall flies for it. Oh, he might have been tripped there. Here's Zilla. From the boundary line, puts it up high, and it might float out on the full. It does. But you know what I'm talking about, Mick? Like, not only Nathan Buckley, you see players. You watch this. This directing traffic like a traffic cop should be getting the ball and sprinting and kicking it long.
Can't argue with that. It didn't come off anyway. Can't help but admire Buckley, but just maybe trying to do too much. Tarkin Lockyer is the young man with the football. Brings it out wide, and that's Betheris. I mentioned in the first quarter that I like the look of him. Played a pretty good game, I thought, for the Magpies last week. Wakeland, a little bit of a nudge in the back on Tarrant. Burns, Buckley, free kicks in Kilda.
And Shane Wakeland hasn't got the long sleeves now, Pete. Bad luck.
Yes, thank you very much, Pete. Had the long sleeves in the first quarter. His brother has the short sleeves as well. Barry Hall, he left the field in the first quarter with the blood rule, and we may hear more about that. There was a little bit of a stoush between he and Rocker.
Collingwood defenders are trying to zone an area, Pete. St Kilda forwards are continually coming and presenting themselves as the ball winner for their teammates. There it is again. You just cannot afford to concede front position when the opposition have access to the ball.
A pretty ordinary effort there by Anthony Rocker there, by the way. He did
just lazy.
Didn't go with him.
Absolutely, Pete. And that's the St Kilda game plan at this stage. They are honouring the lead.
Stewie Lowe's marks so far today. Lead by Lowe, and that was a pretty easy mark in the end. You'd call that uncontested.
Well, if you're playing on Cowboy Neal and that happened, he'd knock your block off.
Ask Peter Hudson. Stewie Lowe's marks so far today have been around about the 50-metre mark, and he has passed the ball off subsequently, but he's going to have a shot here. Marking in the foreground, gives him a bit of advice. Lowe kicks, goal umpire hasn't moved, but only one behind, so a bad miss, you'd call that, wouldn't you?
Well, that's an absolute shock. From there, that should be a gimme. But they still miss him from there, from 30 metres directly in front. As Tarkin Lockyer kicks short, and he finds Luke Godden. Now Godden's going to kick to Anthony Rocker here. He's got the height. He should. Well done by McLaren to spoil. Well done again by McLaren.
I think that's a common denominator, Pete. One thing that never changes in a game of footy, and probably should be a high priority, is your conversion rate. You just have to kick the goals when you get the opportunity.
Well, Hawthorn won a game here last week by kicking 10 straight in the third term. Trinities went for that one-handed. McLaren hooks it back. Here's a contest for good mark. Gavin Krasiska. There's loose Collingwood players everywhere here. Mark Richardson. Now they've got to do something here, the Magpies. Wasley flew for it. Oh, they've lost it. They've lost possession. And Matthew Young will chip it back to Lenny Hayes on centre wing.
Done pretty well since he's been on, Lenny Hayes. One of 5 changes to the St Kilda side from last week. Barry Hall couldn't complete the mark. Aussie Jones. Last time he gave it to Stewie Lowe. This time he gives it to Thompson. Thompson right on 50. He'll give it to Mitchell. Mitchell will mark and run in and goal. No, he won't. He's marked. But unlike Lloyd last night, he didn't run in. Probably just as well after what happened to Matthew Lloyd in the goal square at the MCG. So Gavin Mitchell, who's already kicked one, does his best work in the forward pocket.
It's a good kick, wasn't it?
Yes, pinpoint accuracy here, and Dennis Committee would say centimetre perfect. Mitchell kicks the goal. He's got 2.
He certainly is a goal kicker, Mitchell. He knows when to get forward. I just think Collingwood just mucked up a certain opportunity on that occasion to score. They certainly had numbers when Richardson had the ball. They kicked to a contest. Buckley was free. There was another player in centre corridor. I wasn't sure who it was, but he was free across an half forward. You just have to think your way through and not kick to a contest when players 40 are actually free.
Well, the Saints lead by 20 points. As we see Everett beaten to it by Richardson. Back it comes to Buckley. Buckley hooks it in towards the half-forward area. Well, that's a free kick. It'll come back here to the Saints. So it's a holding the man decision.
In this quarter, there's been a couple of errant tackles. One by Tarrant, that one by Wasley. You still have to have the awareness. The opposition player hasn't got the ball. You just have to feel the body. Here we go here. The ball went to ground. Wosley continued to tackle, brought him to the ground, hence the free kick.
Huxton gives it to Nathan Burke, who's doing really well. McLaren, now how will the umpire see that? Holding the man, and it's going against Burns.
Thompson.
And it'll go to Thompson. And that's a good contest, two hard goers. Now, Thompson, a low trajectory kick, is a great kick. A good lead by Hall, but an even better kick. Now, Hall plays on quickly, and that is a terrific kick by Hall. That's 2 or 3 times his disposal's been outstanding, and he's found low.
Aaron, it's just a common thing in the St Kilda game plan at this stage is whoever's leading forward, getting off the Collingwood defender, they're being used. Very good tactic against the Collingwood defence at this stage.
Stewie Lowe puts it up in front of goal, looking for Everett, but Sam Rocker's obviously been moved onto the ball.
No, it's just that Wakeland pushed forward, Pete.
Oh, has he? Well, that's his first kick of the game. Now, Buckley is going to have his 12th kick here. He's at half back. He bombs it. Oh, that's a lovely kick to centre wing, but the mark has been dropped by Chakatine. He finds Tarrant. Further afield, Batheris. And he finds Krasiska on centre wing. So Gavin Krasiska way out at half forward, but this is where they've had problems from here on in. Batheris is running down there, but St Kilda get numbers back there. There he is, Rupert Batheris on the left foot, bends it back, and Darryl Wakeland tries to help it on its way, and he does eventually over the line.
Peter, just the bench for St Kilda: Tony Brown, David Sierakowski, Matthew Carr, Ben Moulton, and for Collingwood, Damien Munkhurst, Brad Fuller, Brent Tuckey, and Frank Rizzo.
Thanks, Couchy. Well, both the Wakelands are down there in the forward pocket as the Magpie bench looks on.
There's Lee Walker on the right of that grip.
Rocker palms it down. And in front of Brown, and rushed through there by Darryl Wakeland for one behind to the Magpies. Gavin Brown, rowdy.
Very good work there from Nathan Burke. Could have easily gave away a free kick to Gavin Brown, who was facing the ball. Burke at the last minute realised how far the ball in flight was from Brown, turned around and punched the ball cleanly.
Matthew Young to Zilla, to Tony Francis. King chases, but he won't catch him. Spears the pass up towards midfield. Aussie Jones getting plenty of the footy, so too is this guy, Thompson, in front of Burns, too far out to score. 2 kicks from goal. Lowe asks for it. He's on his own right on 50. He's gone a little bit longer than that. Makes Barry Hall a target. Oh, good mark taken by Anthony Rocker. So both the Rockers taking good defensive marks in the last couple of minutes of play. Richardson has to wait. Buckley will give it back to Richardson. Back into the side today. Richardson up towards midfield. Wakeland punches it away from Tarrant. Aussie Jones has got it inside the centre square. Out towards centre wing. That's beautifully delivered. McLaren, a goal kicker in the first quarter, measures the kick up to Suey Lowe. Oh, bang, crash, free kick, whatever. That is not good.
Yeah, you called it, Pete. Anthony Rocker certainly loves getting back off his opposition player. Might have overstaged it a little bit, did Stewie Lowe, but I think no doubt the free kick was there.
It was there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I dare say it was.
We'd be keen to make amends after missing that previous shot.
Just on that build-up from Collingwood's point of view, that was terrific. Inside running there by Richardson to receive what Buckley and go directly at centre-half forward. That's exactly what David Wheaton would have spoke about and Tony Shaw at the quarter-time break. It's just on that occasion they didn't get enough runners to the foot of the ball. St Kilda reacted that little bit quicker.
Would you put Anthony Rocker up forward now? The leading by
Stewie Lowe, you can kick a goal today. Had plenty of the footy. That's coming back. He's got it. He has.
Just to answer your question, Couchy, it might be an option to push Rocker forward. I think Severio Rocker might have to have a little bit of a run on the ball to get some touch into his game. Push Mark Richardson across centre-half forward. Has played a fair amount of good footy across centre-half forward as Richardson. I know Rocker might not have the mobility to keep with an Everett, but just in general play for 5 minutes to get Rocker into the game, maybe to get him up in midfield.
Everett, he won it against Richardson. McLaren did well then. Still going McLaren, he had support. And he receives it.
That was always on.
Unloaded. McLaren again. Mel Michael. Batheris. Gavin Krasiska breaks away and brings it in towards the half-forward area. Rockers at the back. The two Wakelands combined. This is Shane.
They've got three out here on centre wing. They'll just raffle it, St Kilda.
Once they get the loose man going, their disposal's been very good. There's Brown into Everett. Everett, he chips it short to Lowe, who waits, but he marks. He's way out at half-forward, Stewie Lowe. He can give it over to Everett here. No, he won't. He kicks down that centre corridor. He's looking for Hall. Up he goes. Couldn't quite hang on to it. Umpire calling play on. Jones tries to get it out to Hall. Hall tries to throw it, almost threw it away, but he tapped it on. Taken away by Scott Burns. Rupert Batheris from half-back drives in towards the half-forward area. Sad Rocker's got it.
Open goal square, 2 feet.
He should have a shot. He's only 80 out. He's a huge kick. He's going to bomb it goal. Here's a one-on-one contest. Brown will mark this. Into the open goal goes Gavin Brown. Good play.
Well, it was good play, wasn't it?
So the old stager, Gavin Brown, has kicked his first. Mickey?
Geez, he won't like that, Pete. Call him an old stager.
Well, he is. He's been around 100 years.
Nah, great to see Collingwood's approach towards goal. It was straight up and down the ground here at Waverley. You cannot afford to go wide, especially with a young, inexperienced group, because it takes 2 or 3 kicks if you get the ball centre wing back into that goal mouth. On that occasion, from defence to attack, took them 2 kicks, good build-up, hence the goal. Good work, Collingwood.
Gavin Brown, 16th goal for the year. 3 best and fairest, 3 All-Australians, 5 years as captain. And he's done just about everything. Batheris, Krasiska, I'll call him an old stager. Rocker with Darryl Wakeland. Kicks it over the head of Burke. Aussie Jones in front of, good mark.
Here and Anthony Rocker has actually gone to centre half forward. Sav still at full forward. Monkhurst has come back onto the ground to play in the ruck. And Richardson's gone back to centre half back, picking up Stuart Lowe.
McLaren from Francis, and they get it up to Traianides. Mel Michael on the mark. Zua back into the side today, takes the mark in front of Godden. This is not a bad build-up. Now it's Aussie Jones. They do look like twins. Jones coming back to some of his best form. Looks for Big Bad Barry, and he's got it. I should have said he's bagged it. The alliteration would have been better.
I think this has been good coaching by Watson. At every opportunity, they're trying to get Preston Giacomo on that last line of defence. Just his initial 2 or 3 strides in the defensive mode is a little bit slower than the forward. That's the reason why Hall's been back there mainly out of the square, because his opponent is Preston Giacomo.
Saints leading goal kicker this year, Barry Hall. 24-20 before today. What's he done with that one?
Missed.
Oh, my.
A long way. So he won't add to that tally. Not his goal tally anyway. One behind. A little altercation, as I said, in the first quarter. He left the field with the blood rule. Not against Preston Giacomo, his current opponent. But it was Anthony Rocker. Mel Michael's going to kick it in. The difference is 20 points.
He does look to be covered in iodine, doesn't he?
Yeah. So Michael is going short. That's a dangerous kick. It's a poor kick. And he finds Gavin Mitchell. Now Mitchell's going to have a shot. He's hooked this badly too. And he's missed also. Gee, they've missed some sitters. The Saints, particularly Lowe and Hall. That one was a bit more difficult, but a dangerous kick in, Mick.
Yeah, dangerous kick in. Lockyer's going back to kick in on this occasion. Monkhurst is trying to control the group and trying to get him into that huddle concept. In actual fact, St Kilda are dropping outriders out to zone the area.
Oh, that was dangerous also. They're still in that forward area. They're going to get away with it. As the kick comes from Lane up towards centre wing. And it has been taken by Mark Richardson. Now, he gives it off. That's Wosley. He's a very, very quick player. On the Burns. Burns in towards the pocket and he finds Big Sam.
Yeah, great running by Scott Burns.
Now, Rocker goes short and he finds Gavin Brown. Now, Gavin kicked a goal a couple of minutes ago. And what were you about to say, Mick? Not about Burns' kick.
No, just about his run out of defence. Good work, Richardson. No doubt that was a set play out of defence. Go short, get the overlapping player, kick the ball to a second option after the preferred option was to go short. Richardson ran out to centre wing by himself. But then the defenders ran extremely hard to receive by hand. They set up with an attacking paw.
Yeah, well, what's Gavin Brown's kicking style? He doesn't follow through with his boot. He actually quits on the ball as he stabs it. You watch this. Well, it's a stab. Boom. Oh, that was better. It was a little bit different, that one, actually. He might have kicked the goal. He has. So a badly needed goal to the Magpies, and turn kick by their great champion. And he's certainly been that Mick Gavin Brown over the years.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's credit to himself, Brownie. A lot of people did write him off a couple of years ago, but he did bounce back, captaining Victoria and also being a best-on-ground contributor in the State of Origin game. The Browns had a fairly good year in terms of playing forward. This year, he has kicked 15 goals. 2 today makes it 17. So he has been a very good contributor for Collingwood across half forward for most of the year.
2 to Gavin Brown, and they both come from kicks from Sav Rocker. Francis tries to barge through his former teammates, but can't do it. Butheris gets a pat on the back from Lockyer.
Look at these two.
Mick, just on the centre bounces there, St Kilda are always happy to tap back towards Collingwood goals. It's a bit of a risk because Collingwood are going forward and they have to go back then forward, St Kilda. I'd rather see him tap the ball forward than hit back towards Collingwood goals.
Yeah, valid point, Couchy. That defensive tactic, the wave of players from the offence running forward to their goal, you certainly have to find your target, otherwise you do become in trouble.
Big punch by Monkey on to Krasiska. Might be about as far as they get it. They need a crummer here, but they haven't got one. All taken away for the Saints by McLaren. The goal kicker in the first quarter. Not a great kick. Chance for Burns. Oh, lined him up. And Scotty Burns rode the bump well, but I think he'd be a bit sore.
Mick, just on St Kilda, I like St Kilda, a lot of quality players, but they just seem to go too wide and chip short all the time.
Yeah, they have certainly played short, but I think McLaren's been particularly good in this quarter. Stabilised that one-on-one contest against Buckley.
Lane to Lockyer. Lenny Hayes, or not Hayes, Thompson does well. Sirakoski tries to get it through the traffic. Knock on by Everett. He gets it back from Mitchell. Breaks the tackle of Wosley, goes at goal. This one bending back, and it's a goal!
So that was poor play by Godden.
Well, Godden waited for it. I think he was waiting for the bounce. He was going to gather it and it took a left-hand turn.
Pete, you can't afford to wait for the footy to come to you. You must go to it. Terrific intensity here from both clubs. St Kilda players and Collingwood. A little bit of Larry stuff by Everett. Should have took possession. Lucks of fortune. But we have a look here. Everett's kick to the goal square. Godden was in 2 minds. Wait, prop, stop. Got to go to the fall of the ball and put your line of your body through it.
Well, Collingwood have got themselves back into it. I'm sure he wouldn't be happy with that one. And 21 points the margin. There's McLaren. Gee, Buckley's had a lot of kicks, but McLaren's been very, very good.
Especially this quarter, Pete.
Yep. Thompson down towards half forward. Krasiska. And the ball's kicked to the boundary line. Now we'll have a look at McLaren's stats in this term. He's had 6 kicks, 2 handballs. So that's 8 possessions. And Buckley in this quarter has had 2 and 1. So he's had a very, very good term, Joe McLaren.
Yeah, those stats, an interesting matchup between that pair. Throw in low against Richardson. Sirakoski over the top. Chance for the Saints to bring it forward again. Thompson taken out of it by Burns. Zilla's got it. Quick hand pass under pressure. Brown onto the left. Goes at goal. He might have kicked this one. No, he's missed it. Had a great first half last week until Tony Woods was put onto him. I think he had 20 possessions before half time, and Woods restricted him to just 3 after the break. 8-8 to 5-4. We've got 6.5 minutes before half time. Lockyer again. Tarkin Lockyer. Can't recall a Tarkin before playing football. Well, Lane had it. Mitchell came at him, so that's twice from kick-outs at full back. Mitchell has done some very good work.
Pete, just too much airtime. You're going to kick short out of defence. You've got to really get the ball from A to B as quickly as possible and as flat as possible.
Stuart Lowe, he's got support from Sirakoski. The ball's held to him, and the umpire will sensibly come in and bounce it.
We have a look at the matchup across half forward. Andrew Thompson, he's been particularly good this quarter. 11 possessions, and Scott Burns, he's done his job also. He's won a fair amount of the footy for Collingwood.
Well, Everett did well then to hook it back towards the centre forward area. There's Mel Michael. He's got support from Wasley and Buckley. Buckley playing for the free kick. Good play by Buckley to give it off. Here's Mark Richardson. Now the Magpies trying to get clear. Wasley. How the umpires see that? Oh, he's a bit stiff. It was knocked out of his hands. He's paid holding the ball, and it will go to Damien Ryan. Now Ryan's looking for a loose man. He's looking for low, but he's not loose now. Muckney nearly took a screamer, kicked away by Lockyer, and he kicks to the boundary line and over. Way out at half forward, and that hurt him, Stuart, but he's pretty tough.
I think it hurt the monkey too, the way he landed. It was about 8.3 on the Richter scale. He hasn't got that high for 20 years. 200th game today from the big monkey. They'd love to go out with a win.
Yeah, free kick against Markhurst in the ruck contest. Just grabbed hold of Sirakoski. He's the recipient of the free kick.
Thompson takes it from him. Barry Hall on a lead. And marks. Wasley did well. Brown, a little gift to Zilla. Oh, he's nearly caught with the ball low. Around Tucky. Snaps. Misses. Out of bounds in front of Tucky and Lockyer. And you'll see a throw in right next to the behind post. 56 plays 34. 5.5 minutes before half time. Robert Harvey looks on. A late withdrawal from the Saints side today.
Lukey Beveridge also in the foreground. Richardson
paddles it away. Walton's got it. Started on the bench. Snapshot. The mark. Is it there? No. Prestigiacomo comes up with a footy. Must have been a very near thing, but a good call by the umpire. Michael, he was confronted by Sirakoski. Now Buckley. Around towards Tarrant. A likely looking youngster. Bathiris off the ground. Marking contest. Rocker. Brown overruns it. It's out of bounds. Well, Sam's taken a mark in defence. He's taken a couple of marks on the forward line and given the ball to Gavin Brown, which have resulted in goals, but not enough. Not as many as last week at Footy Park.
And he has had a problem with playing consistent footy out at Waverley also, Pete. History will certainly tell you that.
Thompson from Burke and Brown. That's nearly out of bounds on the floor. I think it landed right on the line. It did. We'll see a throw in right next to interchange.
And Nathan Burke's a terrific player down there in defence. A real steadying influence. He's so tough and hard. And there he is. He's like a little general down there.
He's not too little.
Oh, he's not over tall, Pete. He's certainly under 6 foot, but he's just so tough and hard at the ball. And there he is. He's been a great player for a long time.
Matthew Carr came on.
Yep. Number 16.
And he'll be certainly trying to impress because he had a run at Collingwood.
In the reserves.
He certainly played there in the seconds, and he went back home to Perth to play. He got a little bit homesick. But he's got his second opportunity to play league footy. He certainly has grasped it this year.
Tucky is off the ground for, there he is, Brent Tucky off the ground, and Rupert Bathiris back on low. And there's Brown with a sweeping hand pass. Lane shuffles it out. Oh, that was high.
It was.
That was high against Fuller, and it will go to Walton. Walton gives off McLaren, having a fantastic term. A danger here for the Magpies. Hall tried to use his body. Still Hall going in after. Well done, Prestigiacomo. There's Sirakoski against Richardson. Both their fathers played league football, and of course Mark Richardson's father I played with for many years, and one of the greatest Collingwood players ever was Wayne, in my opinion.
He would have given you a couple on the chest,
he
wouldn't he?
Certainly did. He and Barry Price both lace out.
They were Collingwood champions. Brown, low the target. Big monkeys there. And the ball punched over the boundary line for a throw-in by Scotty Burns. 55 metres from goal. Under 4 minutes remaining to half-time. Well, Collingwood have kept pace. They trailed by 13 points at quarter-time. The Saints really haven't blown them out of the water yet. You sort of get the feeling, though, it might happen. Matthew Young, but they're working hard. McLaren, he's had a very good second quarter. Hand pass a little bit astray there. Pinched by Lane right on the boundary line for a throw-in. 22 points. And Collingwood trails by. Collingwood St Kilda affairs in years past used to be real knock 'em down, drag 'em out affairs. Had a little bit of aggro today, not too much though. Buckley and Young, good tackle by Young, brought the error, and a throw in again on centre wing.
Collingwood at this stage, Peter, just struggling to generate some run through midfield. Mainly because Tyson Lane, who's been a fine contributor over the last couple of weeks, last week he had 25 kicks and 8 handballs, 33 possessions. Already at this stage, due to the curbing influence of his opponent in Damien Ryan, Tyson Lane's only picked up 7 possessions.
Ryan trying to make a name for himself at St Kilda. He played 3 seasons with Richmond, played only about 30 games. He's done all right today though. Low, Monkhorst. There's Lane, but he's not going to get it this time. Buckley grab.
Good tap on.
Yeah, taps it out to Tyson Lane. Runs straight into Matthew Young. Gang tackle. Peckett's there for the backup, but it's going to be a ball up. Still in centre wing. Was a good tackle. Wrapped him right up, Matthew Young, who himself is a great gatherer of possessions. Averages about 21 a game. Low to Mitchell. Back to Walton, pretty slippery in that part of the ground. The hand pass a little bit too severe. Good tackle by Burns on Thompson. It's no, not out of bounds. It's still in play. Lockyer has got it. Boots it back up towards centre wing. Young again in front of Tyson Lane. Well done, Matthew Young. Plenty of space up on the Saints forward line. And Barry Hall has got it. Has he played the mark? Yes, he has. Saints leading goal kicker on a lead. Aussie Jones marks in front of Gotten. Well
that
played.
Was just magnificent running ability from Aussie Jones. He ran probably 50 to 60 metres as soon as Hall took the mark. Godden was goal side of him. He done nothing wrong. It's just that Aussie Jones's work rate and speed was that little bit superior to what Godden's was.
Aussie Jones for his second. He'll kick from about 48, 49 metres. It's close. A real line ball decision, literally. It's off the ground for one behind.
I think it was already through, Pete, but Hall too, Mick, that's the one thing I like about Barry Hall. When he takes a mark, he doesn't take half an hour to turn around. He gets back quickly and moves the ball on.
Yeah, he certainly does do that.
I'll give it to Aussie Jones, will I?
Yes.
Be generous?
Yep. Aussie Jones's ball was across the line before Mitchell kicked it through.
Beautiful. Okay, Buckley kicks in.
The kick in towards half-back Mel Michael. He might get a free kick here. He will. Advantage paid. Basiska. Wosley, a very, very quick player. Young flies. Can't take the mark. Here he is mopping up there. Burke to Darryl Wakeland. Now Max Hudson. They're pretty strong in defence, the Saints. Now Lowe. Lowe wants to give off a hand pass here. They've got a runner out wide. It's Andrew Thompson. Thompson drives to Hall. Hall makes the contest, and then Betheris drives it in towards half forward, but the mark been taken by McLaren.
A very good quarter, as we mentioned earlier. It's Ryan.
Ryan, I should say.
Betheris certainly knows how to find the footy, doesn't he, Pete? Just on that occasion, could have broke up play, short kick to Tarrant. He was in the centre circle, could have set up a Collingwood attack forward.
Brown to McLaren this time. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw a big spider over it. He's on a pretty acute angle. He'll give it back to Walton. Monkey's nearly got him. Doesn't have a shot at goal. Puts it out into the corridor. Fuller comes in. Ryan's there. And Barry Hall as well. Mitchell on the bottom. And it's going to be a bounce. It's only 35 metres out from goal. And Jackatine has come off for the Magpies. King has come on.
And he's the type of player, I think, that has to go to midfield, King. I don't know whether he's actually just a small, permanent crumbing forward. I think he likes a little bit of licence in his play to get up the ground and be a creator. Thompson
snaps. It's coming around and right on the goal umpire for this one. I think it's a behind. It is. Kicked by Andrew Thompson. Again, one of the Saints' leading possession gatherers. More than 22 a game. And only a few seconds remaining to half-time.
And haven't they controlled this quarter, Pete? When you have a look at the statistical analysis, it's been 99 possessions to 59, inside 50, 18 to 8.
Still haven't blown them out of the water though, Mick, have they? Buckley takes the mark right on the half-time siren. Remember, the Saints led by 13 points at quarter time, and they now lead by 24. So it certainly was their quarter. Gavin Krasiska just making a point down there with Mark McKenzie, the umpire. to try to clarify something, which is his right. And I don't think he's going to win the argument, but he's trying to make a point. Actually, it's the captain's job to talk to the umpire, and that's Nathan Buckley, of course. Sav Rocker, well, Sav hasn't been able to get into the game, not like last week at Footy Park. Let's hope that he can lift in the second half, because a few handy marks in the forward line from him might be able to put them back into this match. They trail at half-time. It's 8-10 of 58 St Kilda, leading the Magpies 5-4-34. We'll take a break. Back at Waverley in just a moment. In favour of St Kilda over the Magpies. Collingwood chasing its second win of the year. Everton Monkhorst. Nick Monkey does well. They'd love to get the first couple of goals on the board, the Magpies. King's kick up to Freeborn. Has he been paid the mark? He has. Burns around Young. Big Sav. Wakeland. In fact, both Rockers are down there. Anthony nearly took the mark. Nathan Burke gathers the crumbs. Might have got a free kick against Rocker. He's going to get a kick anyway. Always solid in defence, Nathan Burke. McLaren had a great second quarter. Thought about giving it the Trianides, who ran past with great alacrity. King on Brown. Mark or free kick?
I've just headed for my dictionary, Pete.
Sorry, Pete. Wosley at the back of the pack. He was last in line. Burns tried to flip it out. Lenny Hayes gets the kick out almost into the 10-metre square. Richardson and Lowe. Got him when he didn't have the footy. Richardson and Mitchell. Prestigiacomo thought about giving it back to Lockyer, who provides a shepherd, and they finally get clear through. Prestigiacomo towards centre wing.
Oh, the mark is dropped out there, but the hand pass comes over the top to King. Now he's held after he handballed it away, but the free kick was back before that. And it will be a Collingwood free kick way out at halfback. It's Batheris. Now Batheris brings it in towards centre wing, and the mark is taken by Scotty Burns. He'll keep trying. On to Mel Michael. Oh, smothered off the boot. Tried to do a little bit too much. Here's Zilla. He drives it in towards half-forward. Low was it a push-out. Boys paid the mark. It's just a gentle nudge into Mark Richardson, and he disguised it pretty well, I think, Mick.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, Pete. Fairly legitimate. Stronger in the marking contest was Lowe. Richardson got pushed off the line far too easily for a defender, especially a tall defender. Lowe's just starting to work his way into this game.
Well, that's his 8th mark, Mick, and I tell you what, I reckon it was close to a push in the back.
Close, yes.
Very, very close.
Richardson didn't push back in the marking contest, so it's a bit soft and easy off the line there, as Mick pointed out.
So Stewie Lowe will kick from 40 metres directly in front. He'll kick for his second. He missed one sitter. There's the kick. He's hooked this, I think, and he's missed another one. So they're letting the Magpies off the hook here with their poor kicking. They've kicked 8 goals, 11.
Yeah, Pete, and I just spoke to Rowan Saws in the half-time break. There's been a change from the umpire personnel. Vince Sershier actually tore a hamstring in the second quarter. He's been replaced by the emergency umpire in Corrin Rowe.
Thank you, Mick. Oh, beautiful kick in by Lockyer to Burns. And Burns on the left, but he's in turn kicked it now. Young didn't even attempt to mark. He thumped it instead. Out. Here's Freeborn. Onto the left. Rocker. Couldn't mark, but it's over the back with Tarrant. He can kick his third here. He bends it back. Oh, good goal to Chris Tarrant.
Well, we spoke of the youngsters, Mick, at half-time. He looks the goods.
Yeah, he's my favourite player out of that group, without a doubt. He's the most talented player in that group that Collingwood has spoken about. You know, the names that come to mind, you talk of Fuller, you talk of Wosley, you got Tucky, who's playing today, you got Lockyer also, who's out there, Lane, who's been good the last 2 weeks, Jackatoon, King, Godden, Razzo, Batheris. As far as I'm concerned, and one player that's not playing today is Davis, but to me, Chris Tarrant is certainly the pick of that group.
Chris Tarrant kicks his 3rd goal, and the Magpies back within 19 points. That was the goal they wanted at the start of the 3rd quarter, especially after Stewie Lowe missed one. King taken down, Everett, Burke, they try to work it around, Brown's got it. Brown onto the right, kicks to half forward, Lowe punches to the front. He's already taken 8 marks today, Stewie Lowe. Trinides over the top of Buckley, and the Saints will go forward again. The ball driven up towards half forward. Joe McLaren. Godden tries to break the tackle, gets through one, gets around Mitchell, hand pass, a little bit shorter than he would have wanted. Wosley, Buckley's got it, Thompson's got him. Now they should be able to run it out. Godden takes it from Batheris up towards centre wing. That's not a bad sort of a kick. Needs to sit okay for Rowdy. Brown can't quite do anything with it. Young through some pretty heavy traffic. That wasn't bad from Matthew Young. Made something out of nothing. Went to Batheris though in the end. Flipped up towards Freeborn. Shepherded by Gavin Krasiska. Big save! Nearly. Couldn't quite drag it down. The run of Young, not this time. Gets the hand pass away. Zilla right on the boundary line. Brown has him. Still gets a possession. Up to Lenny Hayes. Hayes takes the mark. Free kick anyway. The ball will be... Well, the kick will be taken by Hayes. Doesn't matter. Mark or free kick. And he's given it away. So another turnover. This is Batheris. And he's not doing too badly either. Rupert Batheris.
He reads the play well, Pete.
Only his 7th game. Laterally. Richardson back into the side today, clear of the big spider, down to half forward. Burns with more bandages than Farlap. Not a bad sort of a kick. Oh, he's drilled it. Oh, has he missed?
Hit the post.
Bad luck for the Woods. That would have been real handy. It looked like a goal and slammed into the woodwork at the last minute. So the difference back to 3 even goals.
Yeah, smart play, Batheris, changing direction. Good work by Richardson, who found Burns.
Young drives long. Lenny Hayes was the target. Monkhorst did well to back in Burns to Buckley. They're looking better now. The Magpies have lifted their work rate here in towards Big Monkey. What will he do with the big fella? He's out at centre wing. He brings it in low to Rocker. Rocker's too far out from goal, but he can bomb it long. He's going to drive it low into the pocket. It'll be a difficult mark. Oh, almost took that lane.
Paid it.
And the umpire has paid it. Ryan was hot in his hammer, but that was a very good mark, a low trajectory kick from Rocker.
Yeah, it certainly was, Pete. As you know, Severio Rocker is a beautiful kick in general play. Admittedly, he's had his criticism over the last couple of weeks with his shooting for goal, but generally, once he's up the ground in general play, he does use the ball very effectively.
Well, there's Anthony Rocker, who's finding it hard to get into the game. Now, Lane, if he can kick this...
Banana, is he?
Yeah, he's going for the boomerang or banana kick. He's bending it back. I think he's missed. And he's kicked it behind, but at least Collingwood are doing heaps of attacking here, and there's some few positive signs here.
Pete, I've got the interchange for St Kilda. Max Hutchins got a cork in his left thigh. David Sierakowski, Tony Francis and Ben Walton for St Kilda.
Thanks, Couchy, as we see Matthew Young. Oh, mark is dropped there by Everett. Trinides is there, trying to hook it out. Well done, Mel Michael. Tarrant, he gives it up to Buckley. Buckley kicks, and Carr helps it on its
way. Free kick will be brought back.
Or is it a free kick?
Undisciplined there by Spider Everett once again. Last week he gave 2 50-metre penalties away.
Well, this is
just
50.
Silly contact across the body of Buckley on that occasion.
Mick, it's just St Kilda's play. The last 2 weeks I've seen they play very wide, chip it around and very short. Once the side gets a run on, they don't know how to get back and play direct footy. Do you think it's bad habits by St Kilda?
Yeah, I think it's going back to bad habits, Couchy, and I think the most important thing, a lot of their players don't know how to change their game. They're just instinctive creators. They've certainly got to stabilise the ship a bit.
Well, Brownie is going for his 3rd. He's got it. Here come the Pies. So Gavin Brown's kicked 3, Chris Tarrant has kicked 3, and all of a sudden the scoreboard 9, what's that, 11 points, only 2 kicks in it, Mick.
Yes, Collingwood are certainly making a charge, but here's this undisciplined act. Watch Everett. Buckley's kicked the ball 1, 2, metre and a half later, contact made, missed kick by Buckley, would have been across the line for a point. Instead, Brown gets the relayed free kick down the field. He kicks his 3rd due to an undisciplined act.
3 goals to Gavin Brown, and the Magpies certainly threatening. King to Batheris. Up and under kick, only travels about 35 metres. Rocker was up, couldn't complete it. Michael Back to Bathiris again, right on 50 over the head of Young. Not a bad sort of a ruse. Big Sav, has he got it or is it a point?
No, he got there.
He's got the mark right on the line.
A good play, Sav.
Runs around, tries to play on. Well, what's he done with it? Has he kicked this? I think he has. Whoopie-doo! Well, the confidence of the black and whites has certainly risen 100%. Which is reminiscent of the third quarter last week, just about, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. The first 3 goals in the third quarter to Collingwood. Rocker, this is good stuff. He actually didn't think about what he had to do. He just played on instinctively. And that's a terrific shot on goal.
Darryl Wakeland should have come straight at him then because he got off the line. That's right.
He certainly did. He sort of guarded the area. He should have tried to deny the space for Rocker to work into. But good goal by Rocker. Collingwood is certainly in this game. Bathiris has been good in this early stages of the third quarter also.
Well, the vital centre bounce. Only 5 points in it now. Oh, Moncourt's got it back, but Brown kicks it hurriedly to half. But oh, big thump, but it's latching onto it is Brown. St Kilda need a goal. Hall did well to attack that ball. Here's the young fella, Lenny Hayes, bombing it, goal. It's across the face, no mark. Godden should head for the line. And Lockyer takes it over now. He walked over with the ball, but the umpire has allowed it.
Peter, the bench for Collingwood, Brad Fuller, Brent Tuckey, Craig Jackatine and Frank Razzo.
Wasn't that terrific play there by Hayes? Just the awareness to run into the corridor. Just had great presence of mind that he was about to be tackled, but back his ability to evade.
Oh, that's well done to McLaren. That was terrific play by Mitchell to McLaren. That is brilliant for a goal. Oh, terrific play, Gavin Mitchell.
Well, the one ball in there that was questionable. Was it a throw?
Well, it was terrific play anyway. As we have a look at it, Mick, it was very clever.
There. Actually, terrible starting point from Buckley. Buckley did not man up in that situation. He was the other side of the pack. Not a defining example from the captain of the club. In that part of the ground, you must play alongside your opponent and do not give him any space. That's one of the most important rules in the defensive part of the ground.
Can he make amends here? Buckley, up and under kick. Pies with the numbers. Peckett missed it. Chance for the Woods again. Tarrant at the half forward. The mark to Anthony Rocker. And they're both big kicks. Certainly if Sav had it there, and Sav's in the goal square, he'd have a shot.
Oh, you don't worry about this. He'll make the distance all right.
Oh, no doubt about that, Pete.
I think he'll put it. I'm tipping he'll put it over the fence. But whether it's accurate's the thing.
Right, okay, let's see. That's what let Sav down last week. He had plenty of the leather. His kicking let him down.
It's a huge kick.
Anthony Rocker, right on 50. He's got the distance. Oh, he's got the accuracy as well. A smile from Everett. 5 points the margin again at Waverley.
It's noted about the Rockers, both of them, their ability to kick long. But here's the build-up. Good clearance there by Buckley. Terrific awareness here by Tarrant. Didn't panic. Looked, assessed his options, found the lead of Rocker. It's great ball usage. Rocker's approach to goal was very relaxed. He knew he could get the journey. It was just a matter of accuracy.
Well, how ironic it would be if Collingwood got up and won after he's announced he's leaving. As we see McLaren, geez, been good since quarter time. He's been fantastic. He's showing a lot of skill. He finds Tony Brown on centre wing. He runs onto his left and drives it towards half forward. No mark. It's a loose ball. Burke, I wonder if he's been moved into the centre. I wouldn't be surprised. Here's Lockyer receiving. And it's they're playing in front. That was a good play by Anthony Rocker. Now he's going to kick it wide. It was an ordinary kick off the boot, but Mark Richardson will latch onto it. What will he do? He runs around. He'll have a shot at goal. And Collingwood are in front. You wouldn't believe it. The mighty Magpies lead by a point. And St Kilda going to stop for the second week in a row.
And there's no doubt some self-doubt will be starting to creep into this group, especially after the humiliation of last week. But that's magnificent work from Buckley. on that occasion, dived on the loose ball, gained possession, got it free to a number of Collingwood players. Rocker doing the right thing, playing in front, and actually kicked the ball. Looked a little bit sloppy off the boot, but because Richardson had so much space to work into, kicking in front of him was good play.
Both the Rockers getting into the action in the third quarter, as Mark Richardson, who started on the bench. The big monkey to Buckley. Bathiris, as you said, Pete, reads the play well. Wasley. Peckett on centre wing. It's around Freeborn. They should mark this. Or Michael. But Spider does well. Kicked a goal like this last week in the third quarter.
That's a poor kick.
That one is.
Yeah, but he should have been putting that to the top of the square, Mick.
Yeah, that's what happens when you start to panic a little bit. Individuality comes back into the game. It's one thing you can't afford to do, go against your team principles. And no doubt from that part of the ground, a priority of Tim Watson's would be to centre the ball in front of the coalface, directly in front from goal, and let Lowe or Hall compete.
Tarkin Lockyer, good spoil by Stewie Lowe to get it away from Richardson. It's on the boundary line, it's over the boundary line before Mick, King could do anything with it. Couchy.
Mick, just on Peter Everett there, I just reckon he mentally loses a bit sometimes. I really didn't think if he really wanted to kick it to the top of the square, he could have done that, but he just let himself go and kick it out of bounds in the full. Like, you'd be disappointed if you're a coach.
Yeah, certainly, Couchy. From that point of view, no doubt.
Let's see if he can do it again. Well, he has done it again.
That's what you meant, didn't you, Pete?
Well, yes and no. A carbon copy.
Well, Lockyer's got the penalty kick. I think team rules have gone out the window there. Now, Rupert Bathiris, he's been fantastic. He brings it across the ground to Godden. Oh, it's an important kick. Burke has been put into the action. Oh, look at Nathan Burke going hard after that ball. Now, the Collingwood player on the bottom went in hard too, Mel Michael. And that was tough work. And Lane is there. Well, look at Michael put himself in front of Burke. But when they need someone to lift them, the Saints, they always whack Burke onto the ball, and that's what they've done again. Lowe now is shepherding against Everett.
Yep, certainly there.
Now Lockyer receives from Monkhorst. The Magpies are playing with confidence. Oh, beautiful kick. Out to Tarrant. He's got to move it quickly. The lead's coming. Tarrant drives long. Anthony Rocker. Oh, I couldn't mark. Savrock is there. And Peckett. Peckett handballs it away. Freeborn. Now Lane. Sirakoski. Still Sirakoski. Wakeland goes short. And he finds Nathan Burke, and he won't give up this little fella.
Burke up towards centre wing. Finds Everett short of right half forward. Monkhorst slips over on the mark. One-on-one contest here, but it was wide of for whom it was intended. Mr. Giacomo's got it, takes it over.
Mick, I've just counted Peter Everett. In the last 5 minutes, he's made 5 indiscretions. Like that, kicking to the wrong side of the player there. And I've just counted 5 in 5 minutes. Just sometimes he just worries about his mental capacity.
Good on you, Couchy. Right on 50, Lowe and Richardson. Won by Monkhorst, but straight to the Spider. Oh, good hand pass to Burke. Clear of Godden. Burke, 40 metres out. Kicks and gets the goal.
Champion, this kid.
Well,
he's just a competitor.
He's fantastic, isn't he?
He's probably one of the best competitors in the game at the moment. He's just got that desire to work, the ability to find the ball and do the inspirational stuff when it's required. Good work, Everett. Fair amount of criticism in the last 3 or 4 minutes, but he showed a cool head under pressure in that situation to release the ball to that man on screen, and he just means so much, and he epitomises the spirit required for St Kilda to get across the line today.
The Saints lead by 5 points. Sirakoski in the ruck. Monkhorst did well. Burke was there but couldn't get away. I still think, I said earlier, I reckon they made a big blue St Kilda. They should have played Heatley in this side because he's a very dangerous player, his type of player against Collingwood. They're also certainly missing Robert Harvey's influence in this game with his running capacity. But you've got to hand it to the Magpies. They, well, every week they have a red-hot go and they They really do try hard, this Collingwood side.
Scotty Burns there laying another tackle. He's probably one of the best tacklers besides Gavin Brown in this team. He's already had 3 effective tackles at this stage of the game, but it's just the manner he goes about it. He really wants to lay the tackle, and that's the difference.
Well, this is a very important bounce here. Surakoski and Monkhorst taken away by Krasiska, who drives long over the back. Here's Sam Rocker. He gives it off to Brown. Gavin Brown hooks it back, and it floats through for a behind. Oh, he's not happy with himself. And the margin now is 4 points in favour of the Saints.
Certainly a ball game. The Saints led by 24 points at half-time and 13 at quarter-time. It looked one-way traffic. Quite the same as last week. Low. This is certainly what he should have taken. Gives it back to Burke.
A good play, Burke.
Back to Low. Zilla. Krasiska's got him. Good tackle. Ball jarred free. Out of bounds between wing and half forward as the Saints make a change. Walton comes back on and Trianides goes off.
And that's why he's one of the best tacklers in the competition. Went low, got his body in tight to the opponent, dispossessed the ball. Krasiska is very strong in that tackle.
Sav Rocker. Chance for the Saints. McLaren. Darryl Wakelin. Burke again. Well, when you need somebody to step up, he's the ideal man. Stewie Lowe having a better game than he did last week. His confidence is up too. Tries to draw Buckley to him. Gives it back to Burke. Bombs it long. 35 metres from goal. Spider!
That is a class mark, Pete. Unbelievable judgment and balance in the air.
Well, he's copped some criticism from Couchy today and you, but he's answered in the last 5 minutes, hasn't he?
Oh, he certainly has. He is a quality player, and that is terrific balance in the air. He jumped early, got his backside against his opponent, Prestigiacomo, as he's coming off the ground with the blood rule. But to actually keep your eyes and your hands free in the air and take the mark cleanly as Everett did on that occasion, that typifies why he's a class act.
Mick, we never question Peter Everett's ability. It's just he's mentally sometimes he lets himself go in patches of... In games of 5 or 10 minutes, he can actually lose it.
And then 5 or 10 minutes, he can actually turn a game. He's just got that unbelievable ability.
He has got that natural talent. He thinks through situations beautifully when he's mentally right. It just sometimes he gets clouded in his situation. Whether it's a psychiatrist can actually work that out of him, just to try to relax a bit.
He's sending him a psychiatrist now, Couch. I wouldn't go that far.
Speak of Paul Couch.
He has done a few things that are crazy over a period of his career, though.
Paul Couchy during the week, Spider. Post up. 1 goal 2 for Peter Everett. Deserved better. With a great mark. There's still less than a kick in it. Tarkin Lockyer brings it back in, goes long to the outer side.
Burke put himself in front of Anthony Rocker then and got himself a free kick. He's a tough little fella.
Poor option though, Pete. Lockyer kicked to a 3 against 1. Rocker was the only Collingwood player in the vicinity.
Oh, Burke trying to lift the Saints. He drives in towards full forward. Hall waits. No one went for it for the Saints, and Michael said thank you very much and took it on his own. Scott Burns to Monkhorst. Will he give it back?
Yeah, well done, Surakoski. Had to hold Monkhorst up in the tackle or on the mark. Guarded the area well because Collingwood players were running free.
Oh, Krasiska was going to take the mark. Zilla did well. Oh, Buckley's hit hard. Hip and shoulder by Zilla, or was it Carr? And the umpire telling Buckley to give it. What's this hip and shoulder here? Yep. Bang, it was Carr.
Good contest by both players. Neither one deviated.
Now, Monkhorst and Surakoski. Surakoski tapped it down with the left hand. Damien Ryan just dropped it on the ground. Mitchell tried to hook it out. Here's Tyson Lane. Handballs it away. Oh, Buckley did well. To Clinton King, that was terrific play. In towards half forward. No mark. Brown did well. Darryl Wakelin on Rocker. Now Big Sav used his body beautifully. He's looking back there for Tucky. McLaren to Young. And the Saints are off and running.
The runner from defence, Matthew Young. The big bad Barry. Hall up and under kick off for a step. Lands it inside 50. Low on the lead. Couldn't complete the mark. A very awkward half volley. Now Rocker takes it from Wosley. Out to Burns. And the Magpies turn to run it away through Freeborn. Up the centre wing, Tarrant. Tucky. He's been patched up. Long way from goal. 2 kicks from goal from there. Rocker the target. Lenita Crummer. Brown will go off the ground. Picks it up. Nailed. Great tackle. And a rush behind to the Magpies. He's already kicked 3, Gavin Brown. I said, will he go off the ground? Should he have done, Mick?
Yeah, well, possibly in hindsight.
Good tackle, wasn't it?
But I think it's always a far superior option. If you can pick up the ball and back your instincts, you've got to go with it. Brown thought he had clear space to work into, but that's a good chasing tackle by Sirakowski.
Burke kicks into Mitchell. Mitchell up to meeting Hayes. Nearly the mark. Hayes plays on.
Terrific courage by Hayes, but persistence might mop up here. He looks back here for Wasley. Wasley kicks wide and he finds Godden. Luke Godden. He can chip it in short, but he goes for an up and under kick. He kicks to a contest. Mitchell couldn't mark. Locke is there and King. King bends it around the boundary line. Burke waits underneath and he's having an influence here, Nathan Burke. He kicks to half forward looking for Zilla. He's got him.
Talking about influence, Pete, he's had 9 possessions, 7 and 2 this quarter.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. As we see, Young kick to half forward. That was good play to Thompson. Thompson kicks into the danger area because Lowe's waits at the back. It's no mark. Anthony Rocker spoiled well. Michael gets it to Batheris. Batheris kicks wide. Out here is Wasley. He's quick, but he's always got himself in a bit of trouble, but he gets out of it. Brasiska finds King. Clinton King brings it down to Sabrocker. Oh, that was a good mark. That was by Shane Wakeland. Burke again receives, and Burke drives to half forward looking for Everett.
It was from McLaren. Everett couldn't take it. Batheris wrapped up in the tackle. I think it's Walton underneath there. It is. And he'll blow it up inside the centre square.
And Pete, the reason why Everett's gone forward, they're probably just giving him a rest at this stage. They're using Sirakowski to be the mobile ruckman. Because of that, Everett going forward, Rockers had to go from centre half forward, Anthony that is, and go and play the conventional fullback role on Everett.
Backhander by the Spider. Michael to Burns. Or Mitchell came at him, confronted him well. Buckley's hand pass went astray. Everett looks for holding the ball.
Just in situations like that, no doubt Bucks would actually believe he should have went forward by foot rather than creating another stoppage situation. It could have been cleared by his left side, 30 or 40 metres afield. Brown was the player further afield. Also, Glenn Freeborn. You just got to clear that congested area by foot.
Good tap out by Monkey. Sirakowski underneath. Buckley, good gather. 25-metre handball to the advantage, nearly the advantage of Tyson. Ryan was there. The Saints come away. Walton bends it back up the half forward. It stops Burns. Will try to get it to a teammate. Finds Rocker past Hayes. Intended for Batheris. Buckley. A little fumble. Still time for Bucks to get it. Buckley up inside half forward. Not a bad sort of a kick. They come from all directions. No one can bring it down. Loose ball. Tucky's got it. He'll get onto the left. Who's he got in the goal square? Yes, Rowdy. Brown. Could have almost been 50 as well.
He's got to get it anyway, 50.
Don't think it would make that much difference, but the mark will be on the line instead of on the kick-off line.
This will be his 4th, Pete.
Not bad. He had 15-8 going into the match. So 3 goals, 2 so far. Collingwood will hit the front again if he can kick straight. He does. Pies by 2 points. What a game. Who would have thought it?
Yeah, terrific stuff there by Gavin Brown. Just peeled off the contest, waiting for the ball to be won by a Collingwood player, hopefully. That's good work there by Burns. Also there by Buckley. Fumbled initially, but wheeled back inside. Here's a penetrating long kick. Kick to a pack of players. There's Brown pushing forward. You'll see him to left of screen. He gets on his own quite easily. This is a big job for Matthew Carr. He's been assigned the role in this 3rd quarter on Gavin Brown. Inexperienced young player against a wiry veteran. There's no doubt Timmy Watson would be looking at that particular matchup.
Collingwood by 2 points, and the player off the ground too, Hudson, is a big loss to the Saints. They rely on him down there in the fence. Here's a throw, and it'll go the way of Collingwood. Gee, if they can pinch another one before three-quarter time. Clinton King. Rocker! Thumped away from him. Batheris went in after it. No, it wasn't. It was Browning. Here's McLaren. He's a very classy-looking player, McLaren. He kicks wide. Krasiska, he'll be enjoying this contest. So would Zilla. Zilla's got a couple to beat. Tyson Lane beats him to it. Holding the man. Or was it coming back?
It'll come back to Buckley off the ball. Terrific work there by Gavin Krasiska. He was the one who put the body in between the opponent and also Lane to give space for Lane to work in. Really smart offensive work. And the
Collingwood match committee's down here on the ground. They're very pumped up. They got down early and they're pretty keen to support their players at three-quarter time.
Thanks, Couchy. Tucky has taken a mark. 35 to 40 metres out. And there's a shot at Tony Shaw and Danny Frawley and Mark Kleiman and Mark McKeon, the fitness man on the right in the yellow. And look at Shaw, he's pretty pumped up. David Whedon's there. And I'll tell you what, if he kicks this, they're a goal and a half in front. And it'll be a sensational last quarter here at Waverley. The Saints under the pump. Brent Tucky with his nose heavily bandaged. The Magpies want this to get that 1.5 goal break. He kicks. Oh, he's hooked it. Very, very poor kick. He's not happy with himself, and that could have been the one that really put the pressure on the Saints, Mick.
Yeah, certainly. You've got to kick those situations. You've got to accept them half chances. Very good pack mark, but he had to finish.
40,790 watching a thriller at the moment as Young made a move of the mark. Gets it back to the best man on the ground at the moment, and Nathan Burke. Burke's kick looking for Stewie Lowe. Still low. Oh, back to Burke. Hand pass was pinpoint. Aussie Jones. Barry Hall in front of Michael. Clock ticks down to three-quarter time. Can the Saints come back with one? Booming punt. Spider Everett. Couldn't take the mark. Mitchell gets a second chance. Play on. Was touched off the boot. Bouncing ball. Magpies everywhere. A nest of them. I think it's a twitter of Magpies. Burns up the Tucky. Looks like Elephant Man's love child. Gets the hand pass away. He'd be keen to make amends for missing that goal. Monkhorst in game number 200 to Buckley at midfield. Can either side nail a goal before three-quarter time? Pickett and Freeborn. Who's got the free? Nobody. Burke, King, the Magpies. They need a goal. They won't get one before three-quarter time. There's the siren. But it will be a ball game going into the last quarter. Danny Frawley against his own side. Tony Shaw's got fire in the eyes and in the belly. And that was carried onto the field in that quarter by his Chargers. Gavin Brown, over 5 years as captain. Rowdy, well, he's their leading goal kicker today with 4 goals too. And Monkhorst, what a way it would be to celebrate his 200th game if they can win this match. Big Sav got back into it in the third quarter. In fact, both the Rockers did, Mick, didn't they?
Yeah, I thought they were fine contributors. They provided a contest and a target for the midfielders to kick to. But basically, they won a lot more of the footy. They worked extremely hard that quarter. 102 possessions to 68. But it was the work rate through midfield that got the Collingwood team back into this contest. 11 entries to 17 into their forward 50. And actual Collingwood are going down towards their cheer squad. Not a bad thought there by Tony Shaw, trying to continue to generate the momentum. That's the reason why he'd be doing it. It's most important these players take a deep breath, assess the situation, and know this next 30 minutes is one of the most important 30 minutes of footy in their football lives. To get a win for the Collingwood Football Club, but also for Tony Shaw as well.
So Tim Watson a little bit later down onto the field. He's obviously had some talks with his match committee.
Oh, there's Eddie Hillgrove pumping up the crowd with the team manager. He's pretty passionate.
Well, Eddie's never been short of a word, has he?
Tim would be a very worried man, wouldn't he, at this stage?
I certainly would be. It took a long time to actually come down to the huddle. There he is just approaching it now. But what an important 30 minutes of footy we've got left.
Should be a beauty. We'll take a break from Waverley. 3 points the difference in favour of the Pies. Don't go away.
David Whedon, Neil Baum, they're all excited about this last quarter here. They keep the momentum going, boys, they said. They're just trying to go down the middle. I spoke to Weeds again at three-quarter time. What's the message? Go down the corridor. Keep it going there. Even if we make a mistake, we're still prepared to stick with that plan. They've had 30 or so less possessions than St Kilda. They're playing a lot more direct. St Kilda's time now. If they get mental scarring and get beaten here, I just wonder about them just mentally, if they give it away here, what sort of effect will have later in the season there. But they still haven't panicked, St Kilda. Timmy Watson was still quite reserved and just sticking to the plan.
Francis, centre clearances in the third quarter, 5-2 in favour of Collingwood. Thompson tackled well by Burns. Michael off a step, Burke in front, couldn't complete it, neither could Buckley. And it will be a bounce just off the 50-metre line. McLaren last to get up. Buckley having a few words to the umpire there too.
You'd think you'd leave Lowe on the ground, wouldn't you? I'd have him down the goal square, Stewie Lowe.
He was actually starting the last quarter on the bench.
That's what I mean. He's on the bench. I'd have him right in that goal square.
Batheris, Krasiska. First goal vital here in this match. McLaren and King both have got speed. Clinton King started on the bench. The former Sydney Swan. Up to a contest. Young with Tarrant, Wakeland, Walton. Freeborn spins out, gives it back to King. They need a mark here. Big Sav takes it in front of Wakeland.
He should just wheel around and have a shot on goal here.
Well, wasn't that what Everett did in the third quarter? And Couchy was critical.
Yeah, well, on this occasion,
he's got a set shot though here.
Rocker, I've seen him from this pocket, Pete, on a number of occasions. Kick goals from this pocket. It's just a natural inclination of his kicking action to hook the ball slightly. He'll probably open up the goal face a little bit, croup to his right, and then naturally bring the leg through. He'll go from left to right, right to left, and he probably could kick this goal.
Well, it's a very difficult shot. You'll get the distance he usually does. Right on 50. Oh, bounced through! That's an amazing goal!
That's a disgraceful backline play.
It is absolutely unbelievable. That might get Collingwood home.
And I'll tell you what, it's a great goal to Rocker, but it was shocking play by Francis. And I'll tell you what, Tim Watson will kick a few backsides when he has a look at the replay. What's this, Mick? Look at this. Look at that. Not one player attacked that ball.
Yeah, amazing stuff. Absolutely amazing. And packed with players like that, to see the ball in the goal square go across the goal line and get rewarded from a goal.
Well, Tony Francis let it bounce. Anyway, back to centre, the Magpies. Gee, that'll lift them. King, Batheris, Lockyer. Here they go again. Rocker, yes!
Just hold it up.
Have a
hold
shot.
It up.
He's got to have a shot. He can kick 55 metres. Sav Rocker.
I think that's what Buckley might have said to him.
He's kicked two. He can make the distance. It'll be a huge kick. He's got to kick it. That's good use of the body. But he's a thumping kick. Sav Rocker, let's fly. That's a mark.
That's a mark.
That is a mark to Tucky. Oh, the young kid can go back. He can run around, have a snapshot here. That was a terrific mark right in the line. Again, Tim Watson would be livid that they didn't force that through.
Yeah, it's happened on a couple of occasions today, but Tucky really has to think his way through the situation here. Walk in, compose himself,
run out
gradually
to the right.
Move to the right and snap it across your leg.
Sure he will. Run out to the right, son, and have a snap. Here he goes. Oh, he's hit the post. Oh, that was a vital kick. Oh, boy.
Is.
And, well, he missed a sitter in the third term. He's only a young player. He's disappointed with himself. So it's still anyone's game, and big game for the Saints in particular. I mean, final 8 there thinking.
Matthew Young brings it in. Well-weighted kick to Francis. Disappeared in the third quarter. Now back trying to get his side moving. It's out of bounds. Surakoski, good attempt to mark, but the boundary umpire will throw it in right in front of our commentary position here at Waverley. First couple of minutes of the final quarter. Anxious moments in the Collingwood coach's box. Punched down by Brown, actually. Buckley, the hand pass for Rocker. Ryan kicks it back to centre wing. Marking contest. Thompson was in front. Burke applies a tackle. Gang tackled, actually. Zilla's there as well. And the last man to get up than Freeborn.
I just think Andrew Thompson could be used better on the ball. He's a bit of a running play, give him more legs around the ball at this stage, St Kilda.
Over 22 disposals each match he averages, Thompson. So Everett and Monkhorst, two war horses. Francis had it and lost it. There's Thompson. Beautiful smother by Buckley. The 1%ers, they call them, don't they?
I certainly do, Pete. Interesting, just St Kilda have brought Hutchton back onto the ground. I thought he'd be the ideal matchup for Gavin Brown, but because they've pushed Anthony Rocker forward, Hutchton's had to go to him. Now, mismatch in marking strength. Peckett's gone to Brown. That would suit Collingwood as far as I'm concerned.
Burke again. Certainly best on the ground after half-time. Everett might get another chance after that marking contest. Thompson measures the hand pass, gives it back to Burke. Gets past Wosley. Gets past another opponent in Freeborn. Kicks towards left half forward. Oh, good effort there by Richardson. It's out of bounds though, Richo, and the umpire will throw it in. Don't think he's too upset.
Peter, the bench for St Kilda: Lenny Hayes, Matthew Carr, Stuart Lowe, Jason Trianides home for Collingwood, Brad Fuller, Simon Pritchard-Como, Craig Jackatine and Frank Razzo.
Magpies by 10 points. Everett, Monkhorst, got it to King. King a hurry kick to the centre of the ground. Lane is there. Lockyer, strong tackle. The Magpies go forward again. In towards full forward. Rocker. It's a loose ball. Anthony Rocker. Will it be a mark? Tarrant back to the fight. He couldn't mark. Oh, he lunges, but the ball evades his outstretched hand. And gee, that would have been another one to the Magpies. Look at that, Mick.
And it's very interesting too that Nathan Burke and Nathan Buckley are matched up against each other in midfield. We used to see whether Shaw pushes Buckley forward to drag their main ball supplier out of the contest, or do they back Buckley's abilities to match him.
Pickett got it to centre wing. Now it's Zilla's turn. Over the head of Richardson. One-on-one contest. Here comes Barry Hall. Charges into Richardson. It's on the ground. It's there to be won. Godden's got it. Back to Richardson. Over Zilla. Back to Godden. They share it around the Magpies. Godden. Thriller at Waverley. Buckley marks in front of Burke. The two key playmakers for both sides. Buckley wins that duel. Who's going to win the war? Long kick by Buckley. Up towards half forward. Darryl Wakeland was in front. King, long hand pass. Ryan's got it. Intended for Tyson Lane. Wakeland gets it out to Francis. Oh. Francis dangerous across goal. It's okay. McLaren takes the mark. Did he? Around Krasiska. Freeborn may be able to get this. He got rid of Walton. No one to give it to. Back to Krasiska. Back to Freeborn. A bounce. Still Freeborn. Oh, God, holding the footy. Good tackle.
Magnificent chase there by McLaren. He has run himself ragged today. Had the job on Buckley. Done a fairly good role on him. Buckley's had fairly high stats, but in terms of effectiveness, McLaren's been just as good. But that was magnificent defensive work.
It was fantastic by McLaren, and he ended up with a cramp on. Not good play. It'll come off to Sirakoski. Sirakoski's going short. Oh, he didn't attempt to mark Walton. He gave it to Ozzie Jones. Jones runs inside. He gives it there to Tony Francis, who should have a shot for goal. He gives it back to Jones. They're fiddling around. They deserve to lose it. Here's Francis. Hand pass. Now Thompson. Another hand pass. Walton, and they deserve to lose that ball. Too much Lear Rising Saints.
Magnificent pressure from the Collingwood group. Absolutely sensational work, and that's what the spirit of Collingwood's all about. When your back's into the wall, you've really got to dig deep, screw your stomachs inside out, and accept the challenge.
Why wouldn't Tony Francis, running towards goal, have a shot at me?
There's no doubt he should have, Pete.
Well, they've got a boundary throw in. Again, the 1%ers we spoke of. The sort of things that don't go on the stat sheets, but certainly noticed by the coach. Sirakoski and Richardson. Burke, oh, he's been brilliant. He really has. Onto Thompson. He does have a shot. Barry Hall in the goal square, so is Zilla. And it's shuffled over for a rush behind to the Saints.
Unless Stuart Lowe's injured, I just can't understand why he's off the ground at this current time. They've gone with Sirakoski across half forward. He's only had 7 possessions.
He's loosening up. He'll be back on, I reckon.
Yeah, well, he's certainly got to come back on because he is one player that can mark the ball.
Well, there's no doubt about that. We'll see him back on quickly. Oh, Godden went without the football. Ozzie Jones gets on his bike from outside 50. Goes at Goalzilla. Couldn't take the mark. Off hands and again through for a rush behind. Well, the Saints aren't done with yet.
Not only is it required from cool heads out in the football field, no doubt in the coach's box, Tony Shaw and Tim Watson will have to have a clear mind to think their way through it. This is what footy's all about. High stakes, good pressure. Everyone's got to rise to it.
Buckley, the pressure on the kicker. Oh, dangerous kick. He's kicked it straight to Brown. Brown goes short and he finds Spider Everett. Everett's going to have a shot outside 50. Peter Everett, he goes for goal. He kicks long and he's kicked the goal.
That's what he's capable of doing.
Well, the Saints within 3 points.
And he's coming off the ground. That's another move that I cannot understand. Collingwood won the ascendancy of the centre square in the third quarter, 5-2. But Everett's a tall player who can work forward. Lowe's going into the ruck now. Obviously, they've got great admiration for Sirakowski's ability across half forward. But Spider just can't understand why, after a team-lifting goal, he's been removed from the ground. Obviously, he's upset.
We can lip read. Lowe in that move made by Tim Watson. It may prove to be a good one. King couldn't get an effective kick in. Good tackle by Burke. The ball shuffled out towards centre wing. Brown, a little give. Francis, keen to do well in the last quarter. That could be a goal. Godden just gets there and rushed over the line, over the boundary line, in fact, for a throw in St Kilda's left forward pocket. The Magpies now just by 3 points in this final quarter. We've got 12 and a half minutes left to play.
Mick, Peter Everett doesn't get any smaller at this stage of the game, does he?
No. Height's critical late in the game. You never lose your inches. Tall players can become slow players, but in front of goal, they're very, very important.
Good punch away by the Monkey in game number 200. He's got it around about 30 metres from the behind post now with that punch. So anxious moments in the St Kilda box as well.
Well, just watching Tim Watson at three-quarter time, there's no doubt he went to Tony Francis and asked him for a supreme effort against his old club. He has lifted. He's had 7 possessions, made 1 or 2 mistakes, but his work rate has certainly been a lot better.
Thompson. Now back to Brown from Walton. Low in the goal square. Oh, couldn't mark it. Out of bounds. How did he miss that?
Well, I can understand possibly why Watson has put Lowe onto the ruck. Maybe his mobility around the ground, pushing forward against Monkhurst's lack of it.
He'd be tired, big monkey.
You'd think that's the reason why Watson's made that move.
Lowe and the Monkey. Sirakowski taps to the front. Free kick going Collingwood's way. It was on the shoulder. It's not Lockyer's. It's going to Richardson.
No, Monkhurst's free kick against Lowe. And that's where Monkhurst's strength is, at those stop-play situations. Big frame, big body, a will to play in front. Hence the free kick.
A vital kick coming up here. Now he's found the loose man out here in Glen Freeborn. He's got a running player in Gavin Krasiska. Krasiska goes short. Mel Michael. Back to Krasiska. Walton's after him. Krasiska kicks wide. Luke Godden, he's caught. No, he's not. He breaks the tackle. Godden, an ordinary kick. It's a wobbly kick, but it'll come off because Rocker's got it. Rocker on the left. Brings it into Tarrant. No mark. Oh, the ball hit the post.
Hit the post.
Or was that holding the man? No, it hit the post. And Tarrant was looking up at the umpire trying to get a free kick for holding. There. See that? And he maybe could have got it too.
Kick out. Hudson is back onto the ground. Heavily bandaged. Umpires down. The crowd loves that. McLaren arguably could have got a free kick. Tarrant runs into Hudson. Buckley, 15 metres out. Goes at goal. Kicks it.
Yeah, terrific work there by Chris Tarrant. Magnificent stuff there. Good composure by Buckley, the captain. He certainly steadied himself. Had to go to his offside. But this is great work by a young player under a little bit of pressure. but also the contest there by Gavin Brown. That's why he's widely respected as one of the best one-on-one players in the competition, because his desire to win the footy in tight situations. He was the one who created that opportunity for Tarrant. Tarrant gave the ball to Buckley, who converted.
10 points the margin, and I think it was caused by an umpire getting in the way. Maybe there are too many umpires out there, as we see McLaren go to Burke. Low, back it comes to Brown. There are 2 kicks out of it, the Saints. Hall at the back. Oh, that is courage by Burns. A terrific mark, Scott Burns. Gee, they'll be hard to beat for me, the Magpies. He finds Freeborn.
Yeah, they've just got to continue to play with the same pattern. Don't go bad habits, getting the ball wide and chipping the ball around. The reason why they've got back into this contest, because they play disciplined and direct footy directly towards their marking targets in Rocker, the 2 Rockers, and also Gavin Brown.
So Gavin Krasiska, he's going to hug the boundary line. Oh, he brings it a little bit in. Rocker and Richardson, no mark. Clinton King, off he goes. Can they get another one? He's kicked it back in front of goal. This is Wakeland, Darryl Wakeland. He chips short. Ryan, he marks on the low. Low, oh, what was he doing there? Richardson, he bends it back and kick a poor kick straight to Francis.
Well, bad footy all round, I guess. Young. And the Saints may make them pay. Pickett running with him. Spears it up towards midfield. The Saints certainly have the numbers, but fumbles costly. They may be costly. Thompson on 50. Bends it long. Oh, that's a terrible kick as well. That's out of bounds on the full, and Godden will take the free kick.
That is a dreadful kick.
Yeah, certainly was a poor kick by a quality player. Andrew Thompson is being fairly good across half forward today, but as Couchy intimated earlier, maybe he's better off going into the midfield to create some run. Keep it simple, Luke. This occasion, go to the tallest, longest target, get the ball out of the dangerous area.
And his disposals let him down a little bit today, Godden. Low. Nearly holding the footy. The umpire lets him get away with it. Will the Saints get away with it? Francis again. He has been playing a good last quarter. Michael, good punch away. Doesn't clear the zone. Saints with numbers. Mitchell dragged to the ground by Michael. That was a good tackle. And it's going to be not rewarded, but it will be a bounce 50 metres out from goal. Centre half forward for St Kilda.
Well, there's a real sameness about this St Kilda forward line. That's where, when Heatley's there, they've got a different type of a forward who can lead for the ball. They're just bombing it up, hoping someone can take a mark at the moment. Low to Mitchell. It's back in front of goal. Burns heads for the boundary line. The ball floating around. Oh, that might be construed as deliberate.
No.
Oh, boy. Bit lucky, Prestigiacomo there. And Tony Shaw, he's pretty pumped up there. He is, the little fella.
I think that was a sigh of relief there.
Well, I think he definitely went for the boundary line, Prestigiacomo. Now, Richardson and Lowe. Shirakowski was there. Burns is held. Free kick holding the man. Scott Burns. Time running out for St Kilda. It's just over 8 minutes left, and they're 2 kicks out of it. Burns. Like they're 10 points behind. Lowe goes back. Brown flies. Batheris gets it to Tucky. Centre wing. Lane loses it. King. He goes to Lockyer. If they get another one, they'll be able to beat the Magpies. Locker. Have a shot.
I think a play that's made an unbelievable difference to this game as Everett comes back onto the ground. Stuart Lowe has come off the ground. Has been Clinton King. Suggested earlier in the second quarter he's better off getting into the midfield to add some creativity. In the second half, he's had 10 kicks and 5 handballs in a very polished display.
Well, he's a big kick. I reckon if he kicks this, St Kilda will find it very, very difficult to win this game. To come from 2.5 goals down. Odds? I think he can kick it. It's out to the right.
Out of bounds on the full, I think.
Yeah, out in the full. Not a good kick. In fact, he didn't do his usual run in there. I reckon that was about 2 or 3 paces. Rocker, I don't know whether the pressure got to him. But they're still in it, the Saints. They've got plenty of workers there, and this is one of them in Nathan Burke.
Then absolutely fantastic Nathan Burke. for Trianides. Aussie Jones. Oh, he's got a fortnight. Hayes does well. On to Hodgson. Hodgson can kick a goal. A couple of bounces. In he goes. That's going close. What's he done with it? I think he's missed. One behind by Maxie Hodgson. His first score of the day.
Yeah, terrific work there. Just some pressure from the chase. Admittedly, they didn't get actual hands on Hodgson when he was kicking for goal, but it was that pressure from two players, Wosley and Brown, just created a bit of sort of subconscious pressure on Hodgson as he kicked for goal.
Lockyer at fullback. Lead being made by Burns. Sets it up well for him. Burns off a step, bangs it up towards centre wing. Oh, that's a good mark to Tarrant. Gutsy stuff, son. He's hurt too because he was confronted by Sirakoski. He might have to leave the ground with the blood rule.
I dare say he'd be cramped.
Or has he got cramp? Yeah, he has.
Mick, you've called him right. He's probably out of the youngest. He's probably got a lot of talent, hasn't he?
Oh, certainly has. Untapped the potential. Very exciting prospect.
Kicks to a contest. Tucky. I like the look of him after half-time too.
Taking a couple of great grabs.
That one in the goal square was fantastic. I don't think he'd like his look at the moment, but he won't worry about it if the Magpies can get up. And they may still pinch this game from St Kilda. Batheris, who reads the play well, kicks it goal. Oh, don't tell me he's kicked it. He has. Rupert Batheris, only his 7th game, won the reserves best and fairest last year, coming by Devarsel and East Perth. And look at this.
Yeah, Rupert Batheris, he was the player. No doubt the tackle of Everett swung that footy back by Batheris on that occasion. But I just question what Tony Brown was doing on that occasion. He just lost the body of Batheris, allowed him to get goal side of that floating ball. You can't afford to do that in the defensive part of the ground. Batheris ran onto the loose ball and kicked maybe a match-winning goal for the Pies.
Well, just over 6 minutes left. And Moncourse goes forward. Rocker, yes! And he's going to settle it down and he'll have a long bomb.
Wouldn't be surprised if he actually went back and went for the torpedo.
No, the top, yep.
He's that type of player that can actually present the freakish thing when it's needed.
Well, he's gone a long way back. Let's see if he holds it for a torp. And this would be very exciting if he goes to the big torp and gets onto it. It'd be a monstrous kick. I think he is holding it for the torp. Let me have a look.
No, drop punt.
Oh, maybe the drop punt. Let's have a look. Yeah, drop punt. He still kicks it a country mile. Nearly a mark to his brother. It's kicked through for a behind by the Saints. But time clock ticking down. 5.5 minutes left. And the Magpie faithful are absolutely delirious out there because they haven't seen a win for a long, long time. The wins have been few and far between. They've got a real chance today as Young runs away with the ball for the Saints.
Tries to get it to centre wing and Francis. He couldn't do so. He was hotly pressed by Gavin Krasiska and it's out of bounds. The Saints need 3 goals. They've got 5.5 minutes in which to get them. Not an impossible task.
And there's an example, Pete, of why North Melbourne are such a good team, because irrespective of the circumstances of the game, they still play to their disciplines and team rules. St Kilda under pressure continue to go too wide.
Monkey to Krasiska. King looking for options. He does the team-oriented play. Lockyer came in like a steam train. Hodgson nearly had his head taken off and must get a free kick. Time, the essence of the contract. Wakeland, Burke, Aussie Jones, not too much on offer for him. Now Burke runs past, he puts it high. Trianides has it punched away. Burke again, oh, he's fantastic. He is absolutely fantastic. Up to Barry Hall. It's a play on call. Burke again. He's trying to do it on his own. Burns, well, he's been pretty good.
He has been terrific.
The bandages, well, I've never seen so many on a player, but he has been courageous to the nth degree, and he gets it over to the big monkey.
Once again, they saw that static forward line. They've just got a very poor forward set up today, St Kilda. And Burke had no one to give it to. This is Tucky. I reckon the Magpies are going to win this. It's just under 4 minutes left. Rocker flew. Here's Hudson. They've got to kick long. They can't fiddle around with it now. Burke's on his own in the middle. He's trying to lift them. He's got it. He wants to play on. He does. He kicks it wide. He's got McLaren. Joe McLaren. He goes short as well. Sirakoski. Oh, nearly caught it before he kicked it. He belts it in towards half forward. No mark. It's a loose ball. Mel Michael swoops on it. Clinton King. Clever little give. Mel Michael. Still Mel Michael. He kicks it in towards half forward. A goal would sink the Saints right here and now. Anthony Rocker gives it off. Tarrant. Yes! Magpies are home. Great win.
Well, that was one of their best passages of play of the day, Mick, right out of defence.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, Pete. And terrific stuff by this group. There's no doubt about that. Once again, Mel Michael going back to fullback. He certainly stabilised that position. Clinton King, clever handball under pressure. Magnificent work here on the overlap by Tarrant. Realised there was a player from St Kilda that may come across his left leg, but straightened his body up and kicked accurately for goal. There's no doubting this young man's potential. 4 goals today from 11 kicks. What a memorable victory for Collingwood.
Well, they'll be celebrating in the Magpie Social Club tonight. If they're not there already, bad bounce favours Burke. Well, he's just about best on ground. Richardson back into the side today, and he's done well. Buckley. Will he give it to Gotten? No, he won't. He's going to slow it down. And why wouldn't you? Lockie has made a lead, but he's decided to ignore that. They're sharing it around. Freeborn. The Essendon trick. 2.5 minutes to go. Back it comes. Lockyer again. Lockyer is a right half back. The monkey's on his own. What a 200th game this will be. Good on him. It'll be a bit heavy to cheer off the ground, but you get the message. Back it comes again. Well, they're chewing up the clock. That's what they want to do. It's down to just over 2 minutes.
Just a ground level. The crowd's absolutely loving this, boys.
Yeah, they sure are, Couchy. Buckley again. Well, they've been about 6 kicks, guys, and it's all been within about a 20-metre radius on centre wing. Nathan Burke, just about, as I said, best on ground, but his efforts aren't going to be rewarded today. Wakeland punches to the front, chance for Thompson, flips it up to Young, dummies the hand pass, spears it into McLaren, back to Brown, Brown from midfield, across to Barry Hall, doesn't bounce too kindly for him. Barry Hall looking for an option across half forward. He's found Sirakoski, and he marks inside 50 with Richardson standing on the mark.
He gives it to Hall. Hall from 45 metres. And he's missed him. I think he's missed. Yes, he has. And, well, I reckon this is a great win by Collingwood, but a really, really disappointing effort by the Saints. I reckon they Learised in the first half. They went short. Do you agree, Mick?
Definitely, Pete.
And instead of, they thought they had the game won. They were playing with Collingwood. Should have been about 8 goals in front.
Well, that's what Mick said at half-time.
Well, they should have been.
They try and invent too much, don't they, Peter? They just try and invent handballs and plays and just put on stoppage on play. They just handball the blokes.
Buckley did plenty of the ball. Here's King,
he's been good.
Yeah, his fresh legs have really helped this side, the Magpies. But gee, the players, Mick, will get a huge kick out of this, and there's Tony Shorey will even get a bigger one.
Yeah, well, the beauty about it all, Pete, probably with what's happened throughout the course of the week, every player out there is on notice because they know there's a new coach coming into this group. So all of a sudden they know from probably 4 or 5 prospective coaches they are on notice, so they have to assess their goals where they are in terms of their careers.
Push in the back. Free kick going Collingwood's way. Nathan Buckley's going to take it. He's always been good, and today no exception.
And don't tell me, you can never tell me one player doesn't make an enormous difference. You put Harvey
out.
You
yes.
put Harvey in that St Kilda side, you'd see a different performance.
Pete, take it home. There's a few seconds to go. Well, it's all yours.
Well, here's Rocker. He's really lifted Anthony Rocker. He goes down. Oh, he's found his brother.
And this has been terrific.
Terrific mark. He'll kick for his third. He'll kick it 50 metres.
And he'll kick it on the siren, Pete.
The siren about to go. And he puts a mark on the ground. He'll go back 1, 2, 3, 4. Tony Shaw getting the roars of delight from the Magpie faithful, and good on the little fella. He's put up with that a lot, and he's always taken the losses like a man. And there's the siren. Look at Shawry. He's whacked at sub-blocker. Let's see if he can finish it off with a goal. The big full forward's missed. He's kicked it out in the full, but it doesn't matter. The Magpies have won.
They certainly have.
They did it for Shawry today.
The footy revolves around team spirit. The morale of this group's been very good, but at the end of the day, the morale of Collingwood and Monkey, congratulations, mate. You've deserved 200 days. I've even got a little bit of a touch of a teary in my eye, Pete, because emotionally I know what this group has gone through. Specifically that gentleman on screen, Monkhurst. A lot of people have wrote him off, too slow, too overweight. But I know Monkhurst, the competitor, more than most. He is one bloke that never ever shirks an issue, and to fight back the way he has in his last month of footy, and to go out in his 200th game with the victory, I just take my hat off to him.
They might cheer him off too, Mick, the big fella.
I hope they do.
200th game, that'd be great. He's a character.
He is a character, isn't he?
He's a good bloke.
And we wonder how fit he was coming into today's game. It was his 200th, and he was under a little bit of an injury cloud, and he made it out there, and the Magpies made it over the line, and only their second win of the year. And
now that was interesting. Nathan Buckley tried to get Tony Shaw to go down to the Collingwood crowd, and sure he wouldn't be in it. He's leaving it to the players, and that's typical Tony Shaw.
It is, isn't it? Well, Shawry made an interesting move, and you pointed it out. He took the players down to that end for the three-quarter time address just to keep the momentum going, and they were able to take it on into the last quarter.
Well, they've been threatening, haven't they, Mick, to win a game. They've been having a go, and they could have easily beaten Adelaide.
Yeah, they certainly could. There's Eddie Maguire. Wouldn't a happy man he
look at
be?
Eddie. Is he wrapped?
But just in terms of seeing what this group's achieved, look at Eddie singing the tune. The dulcet tones of Eddie Maguire are bellowing out there at Waverley. But magnificent to see Collingwood in this fashion fight back from adversity. And from this point, the second half of the year, and it's good to see Tony Shaw. We know he's not going to coach next year, but he's broken that month of June, winning a game in June. It's terrific to see.
Let's go down to Couchy.
Great win, Brownie. And how's the week's been in the last couple of weeks? You said they've been fantastic.
Look, it's been tough, but the last three games have been, so competitive. The boys have been fantastic. And today, the result come for us, so fantastic.
You seem to play more down the corridor, fair to say?
Yeah, you're dead right. I think we really wanted to take some risks, go in board, and just, mate, we had nothing to lose, and the boys, as I said, they were just fantastic.
Now, you've been very successful. You won a premiership. What's it like being over the last couple of years where you've had a bit of a drought?
Look, it's been tough. And this year's been real tough. This is our second game, second win, and mate, this goes down as one of my best wins. There's no doubt about it.
And Chris Tarrant, just a young talent.
Mate, he's going to be fantastic. He can take a grab, kick a goal. He's going to be fantastic.
And any other kids there you think will come on in the next couple of years for you?
Look, Brent Tuckey showed the night that he can take a grab. Look, we got
Wosley.
Wosley's fantastic off half-back. Rupert Matthias, it's just a hope. Yeah.
Well done, Brownie. Good luck and enjoy the win.
Thanks.
I'm sure he will. So, Collingwood's second win of the year, and they did it by scoring 15-13, 103 to St Kilda of 11-16-82 on Monkey's 200th. We'll take a break. Back in just a moment at Waverley.